All right, we are live. Let me just make sure everything's working here. Oh, please tell me it's working. All right. It's working. All right. Hi, everybody. We're live. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see everybody here. Thank you so much for coming out today. And we have a lot of awesome stuff in store for you today. So I'm not going to take a lot of fluff time in the beginning because I want to make sure that we keep this to the amount of time we have and get through everything. So thanks for showing up today. Hi, Brandon and Sarah, Laura, Trish, Deborah, Leslie, Casey, Andrea, Thea, Elizabeth, Jeff, Raymond, John, Angelica, Carol. Wow, there's a lot of people here already. So awesome. I'm so glad to see everybody. And one of my experts that I'm going to have here today just walked into my house. So that's pretty awesome. Little surprise. So anyway, I'll just roll right into it here and kick this thing off. There's going to be a few other people jumping on, just so you guys know, and you know, so you might see some people jumping on. Just they're here for they're the panelists for today. We've got several people, so just if you see people jumping on and off throughout the webcast, that's why. So basically, I just want to start out. I know a lot of you know. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for being here. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, and there's other things that you could be doing right now. So I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for choosing to spend a few of your hours of your time here with me and with us today. And my intention is to really give you as much value as I can possibly cram into the next few hours and really make this worth your time. So I really honor you for being here. And you know, a lot of you know who I am, which is why you're here, and I really appreciate you for coming to listen today. And some of you might not know who I am, because I know that you might have heard about this webcast from somebody else. And so I just want to share with you a little bit about myself and, you know, why I'm okay. So, you know, basically, I'm a single mother. I've got 2 little girls, ages 10 and 7, and I've been a single mother since my younger daughter was born, so for 7 years. And when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I decided that I didn't want to go back to a job. I didn't want to leave the house once she was born, and so I decided that I wanted to learn how to make money on the internet. So I'm here today happy to tell you that I have not gone to a job in 10 years since my daughter's been born, and that's simply by, you know, diving in and learning how to market on the internet, and I've done that primarily with blogging. And you know, you're going to be hearing from some people today who, you know, will be able to share some testimonials with you today. People that, you know, what my passion with blogging is really helping people get really in touch with what they're truly passionate about, so that they can actually live a fulfilled life and live on purpose and blog about the things they're passionate about. So I mean, I have a few people that I've been working with that are going to be able to share some testimonials with you today about what's been opening up for them and how they've been able to do this in a way that they didn't know was possible. And you know, I've been blogging since a little bit before Thanksgiving. I started a new blog, which is a CrossFit blog, which is a passion of mine. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But since I started doing that, all these new doors have been opening for me. Miracles have happened. And that's what I want to share with you today about what's possible for you when you define your ideal niche. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about today. And you really are in touch with what you're here to provide for the world, what value you're here to provide for people. And you know, so anyway, that's who I am. That's what I'm, you know, what I'm here to provide. That's, you know, really my purpose in the world, is to really help by being able to blog about their passions. Okay, so a little bit about my background. My mother died when I was at a young age. I was 18. My mother was killed in a car accident, and it was a really tragic time in my life. And you know, I went through my whole life, knowing that, you know, what I wanted more than anything in life was to be a mother. And you know, like I said, when it finally, I mean, I have a long story that I could go on and on about, but I'm not going to do that today for the sake of time, because like I said, I have 3 different experts that are going to come out and share with you, and I just, you know, I don't want to take a lot of time, but I will say that, you know, I always wanted to be a mother. And when I was pregnant with my first daughter, when I was about 6 months pregnant, I realized that, you know, I don't want to leave the house once this baby is born. I was doing things, I was a realtor and a personal trainer. So I was working for myself, but the work that I was doing required me to be out of the house all day long, every day, in order to earn an income. And so when I was about 6 months pregnant, I realized that I don't want to do that once this baby comes. And if you're a mother, you know, you might understand what I'm saying. I didn't know this until, you know, people always tell you things before you have kids that you think you understand intellectually, but that you can't possibly understand on an experiential level, on a cellular level, until you actually have a baby growing inside your body. And that's what happened to me. I was 6 months pregnant, and I just knew that I did not want to leave the house once my daughter was born. So, you know, I decided that I was going to, you know, figure out this internet marketing thing. Now, I had been, just so you know, I dove into my network marketing business, and I created a decent residual income. You know, for a traditional network marketing company, it was decent. It was about good supplemental income, because I was married at the time. My husband had a job, so that was a good supplemental income to be able to, you know, pitch in, do my share to support the family. Well, a few years later, when my second daughter was born, I ended up going through an abrupt divorce. And that income, at that time, I became a single mother in an instant. I had a 4-week-old baby who was nursing and attached to me, and a 3-year-old. And I was left with nothing but this, you know, this couple $1,000s a month coming in, which was a godsend at that time, but it wasn't enough to really support my family. And, you know, I ended up going through a bankruptcy. I let the house go into foreclosure. We moved into an apartment, and I was committed to not leaving my kids, no matter what. I wasn't going to leave my kids to go to a job. And so this is when I decided that I really wanted to figure out this internet thing. And I started learning everything that I could completely on my own. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have, you know, I didn't have anybody to kind of, you know, help me shave off a learning curve and tell me what to do. I just figured it out on my own. You know, just to give you an example, I was, before my divorce, when I decided that I wanted to start learning the internet, I heard about an internet marketing seminar that was going on, and I knew nothing about internet, nothing at all, zero. But I knew that it was an avenue that I wanted to learn, and so I ended up, you know, I didn't have the money to go. I put it on a credit card. I ended up finding a roommate through somebody else, and, you know, introduced me to somebody over the phone. We decided to be roommates so that I could shave off the cost. And I showed up at this internet marketing seminar not knowing anything about the internet. I mean, this is how, you know, naive I was. I showed up. There was about 100 people at this event, and I remember raising my hand. They were using jargon that I didn't understand, because most of the people there were experts. They were people that had ebooks and websites and different things. And I remember raising my hand and asking. They were using jargon that I didn't understand, and one of the things that they were talking about was a domain name. I kept hearing this domain name mentioned, and I didn't even know what that was. I raised my hand to ask, what's a domain name? And like everybody turned around and stared at me like I was, you know, like I had 3 heads. But literally, I didn't even know what a domain name was. I didn't know anything. Okay, so that's where I started. And I think, you know, pretty much that's where we all start. I mean, I know our kids now are being raised in the age of technology, but that wasn't the case for a lot of us. And so we all have to start from scratch. And so in any case, I really started diving into the internet thing after I went through my divorce, and I knew that my income with my network marketing business wasn't enough to really support us, and I needed to take it a step further. I needed to get my message out to more people, because at the time I was showing up at coffee shops with my flip chart, showing the plan to people, but there's only so far you can go with that, and it's really hard to do with a newborn baby. So I decided to start learning the internet, and I was completely, like I said, committed to not leaving my kids, but I was struggling for a long, long time. It took me a while to figure it out, and my friends and family were telling me to go get a job. You have children to support. What are you doing? Go get a job. And I said, no, I'm not leaving my kids. And, long story short, after diving in, trial and error, and what I like to call failing forward, I was able to figure it out and create a full-time six-figure income by, using the internet and blogging. And so, now I'm just what I'm really passionate about is helping other people to do the same thing. I want to help other parents come home from work, jobs that they don't like, to be able to be with their kids and to be able to really, follow their true purpose and their passion and live fulfilled lives by, being able to make their own schedules and work from the comfort of their own home. And if you don't have kids, I want to help you be able to do the things that you love in life and not have to show up at a job that you don't like every day, punch in a time clock where there's an income cap, because there's only, if you're trading hours for dollars, there's only so many dollars that you can make because there's only so many hours in the day. So this is, what I'm passionate about, and this is what's possible today because of technology. So this is just, we're really, really fortunate to be living in this time where it's actually really doable to be able to create an income from home. So, I just, in case you're wondering if you're in the right place, I'm just going to say, you are. If you know you have a gift to share, but you don't know how to get paid for it, we're going to talk about that today. You want to have more control over how much money you make without having a ceiling on that. Maybe you're dropping your kids off to before and after school programs. I see a lot of kids' school where, they have to be at work before school even starts. And so they have to bring the kids to, like the YMCA has a program at the school before and after school, and the kids have to go there, at 7 o'clock in the morning so that their parents can get to work. And then they have to go there after school ends at 3. They have to go there till 5 until their parents get off from work. And, I never wanted to do that. And I haven't had to do that. And I really feel for those of you that do have to do that. So if that's you and you don't want to have to do that anymore and you want to learn another way, you're in the right place. Maybe you really want to be able to make money while also contributing and connecting with your audience and, making a difference for people. Or maybe blogging about what you love most in life is your dream, but you have you have no idea where to start. So, if any of that is true for you, you're definitely in the right place today, okay? So, what's possible doing this work is, like I said, being able to come home from work, never miss a beat in your kids' lives, have a flexible schedule. This is why I'm so passionate about what I do and about teaching it to others. Being able to cash in on your passion and get paid to do what you love most. I mean, how does that sound for those of you that are maybe doing something that you're not passionate about just in exchange for a paycheck? And I'm going to talk about that more today when I talk about how to master your niche, which is one of the things we're going to be going into today. So what you're going to learn today, and you might have seen this because I know there was a lot of emails going around about today's webcast, but I'm going to talk about how to determine your ideal niche. And, just a warning, it might be different than what you think it is, and I'm going to talk about why that is. How to make money blogging about your passions. How to master your niche and stand out above the noise. There's maybe a lot of your, you determine that your ideal niche is a niche where, there's hundreds or thousands of other people blogging in that niche. So how do you stand out from that. So we're going to talk about that today as well. Plus, which is really awesome, I've got 3 different industry experts that are going to be here with us today live, and you're going to gain access to a ton of value that's going to help you take your blogging career and experience to the next level, or help you understand why a blog is such an awesome, important thing to have if you don't currently have one. So just to give you a little bit of a preview about who I have coming, I have a blogging expert, and he's going to show you that it's truly possible to blog about any niche. He's going to tell you about the niche that he's been blogging in, and to get paid, and he's going to show you what he's done. And I have a video expert, and this guy's amazing. He's going to show you some of his techniques to film yourself at home and blogging material. So you're definitely going to want to be here for that. And then I also have a storytelling expert who's going to show you how to effortlessly transition from training to storytelling and why storytelling is so important. And and that, as many of you probably know, because a lot of you know me and you know who that is, and that's my dear friend and business partner, Chris, who just walked into my house and is sitting here. So that'll be a really special treat for you guys, okay? So yeah, so if you hear any chiming in from the peanut gallery, it's Chris and Irina. And Irina, but Irina is like as quiet as a mouse, so I doubt we'll hear much from her. He's laughing over there. So, all right. I just want to, all right. Chris, are you monitoring the comments at all?
Yes.
Okay, is the comments going okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I really can't. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so so here's what's going to happen today. I'm going to teach you as much as I can in the limited time that we have together today, between myself and the 3 amazing experts that I just talked about. And then I promise to show you how you can take it further if you would like to do that, okay? So let me just say, talk about a little bit about how to interact. We really are live. And you heard me just talking with Chris about the comments. There's a comment stream below the video right here. And so I would love, for you to feel free to interact and ask questions there. And just know that if I get on a roll, I might not be able to answer questions until I'm finished, once, when I'm on a roll, possibly can. So just know that, and know that I will get to your questions, when I'm finished with a segment, if that's the case. Okay? So the big vision that I have for people is that they're able to live while they're here, and to create a life on their own terms, and to be able to make a difference for others, and to be able to do that while they're doing what they're most passionate about, and to be able to create a really great income by doing that as well. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the lessons I've learned and how I got here. My goal really is to shave off that 8-year learning curve that it took me. It took me 8 years to learn what I now know. It has provided me the ability to be able to create a full-time income, from my home. And I want to shave that learning curve off for you. Okay, and like I said, I'm also going to be sharing interviews with leading experts in this industry, and they're going to help you get ahead as well. Okay, so just. Okay. All right. All right. So, all right. So here we go. So as part of today's webcast, I'm really, really, really excited to share with you today about a new program that I have. Many of you have approached me for help you know who you are if it's you. I've literally been getting bombarded with messages, not bombarded, but like I've just been getting like a huge flow, constant flow of messages and requests from people who want to know how they some blogging training for me, how they can work more closely with me. And so in order to be able to serve everyone, I've created a whole new course that has my whole blueprint in it. It's called the Next Level Blogging Blueprint. And, you know, I know a lot of you have asked for one-on-one coaching now. As I mentioned, I'm a single mother, and there, you know, like I really, you know, my goal in life is to serve, and I really would love to serve everybody one-on-one, but realistically, you know, I'm also committed to having time freedom to be able to be with my children. And so what I've done is I've put this together in an even better way for you guys, and you're going to love it. This way I can serve everybody, and it's, you know, it's more cost effective and it's awesome. So I've put everything that I have into creating this for you. I mean, I've literally put out every single thing that I know that has made a difference for me and that has led to my success. So, you know, I know that you guys are going to love this, and it's an opportunity for you to stay close to me, which I know some of you have wanted to be able to do. So it's also an opportunity to turn today's useful information into lasting transformation. Okay, because you're going to learn a lot today. I mean, really get ready to take notes. You're definitely going to learn a ton. But, you know, what happens a lot of times is people go to an event or they jump on a training webcast or whatever, and they leave there, and then then they don't move forward. They don't take what they have and create lasting transformation for themselves. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that as well. Sound good? Okay. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you step one when it comes to blogging, and that is how to determine your ideal niche and how to master your niche. Okay, this is like the foundational stuff that you have to have in place in order to be able to truly have success with a blog in a way that feels good to you, you know. And there's some other things that you need to learn to have success as well with your blog, and my program covers all of that. It covers all the rest of the stuff. So I'm just going to give you like a brief overview right now, and then we'll jump into the training. So my course teaches what I like to call the 5 C's of next level blogging. Okay, so the first step, like I said, is it's classify, it's define your niche and construct your brand. So we're going to talk about a lot of that today. With the time that we have today, I don't have time to go into that entire, you know, module today, but I'm going to give you enough of it for you to be able to see why this is such an important piece of the equation. And you're going to be able to take what you learned today, and, you know, my intention is that it actually transforms something for you today on a deep level. Step 2 is create. Provide value for your audience. Communicate your message. Change lives. So this is where, you know, we really get into, you know, how to do that with a blog. Step 3 is connect, what I call the know, like, and trust factor. How to deeply connect with your audience, and, you know, connect with them. A lot of people are putting out content, but they're not. They have the connection piece isn't there, and that's going to be a limiting factor when it comes to your success with a blog. How to do keyword research. You know, if you want to become the hunted rather than the hunter, you need to learn how to make sure that the right people are finding your content, your target audience. I'm going to show you how to do that. How to use stories. This is a really powerful way to connect. And like I said, we have a storytelling expert on the panel with us today that's going to give you some of that information today. But storytelling has, since the beginning of time, been one of the most effective ways of communication and of engaging people. So we have an in-depth training about that as well, included in this product. And how to communicate effectively through email. You know, one of the things that I teach is how to generate a lot of leads, free leads, from using your blog. And so then what do you do with those leads? So I'm going to teach you how to effectively communicate through email with them, because, you know, if people are opting in for your emails and getting on your list, chances are, you know, if you're selling something or offering a program, maybe you're a coach, maybe you have a network marketing business, whatever it is, most of the people that, you know, voluntarily give you their email address through the different ways I'm going to show you how to do that with your blog, a lot of them aren't going to just jump right up and want to do business with you right out of the gate. Some of them will, but most of them won't. And so effectively communicating through email is a huge piece of the equation. So we're going to go into that as well. Step 4 is convey. So getting your content seen. You know, so what's the point of creating all this amazing content if nobody can find it? So we're going to talk about syndication and different ways to, you know, make sure that all of the, you know, the stuff that you're creating is actually getting seen, that you're actually able to get traffic to your content. And, you know, so that's something that we're going to go into as well. Actually, you know, there's a bonus module that's part of step 4, which is awesome. We're about to do a live webcast with, I have an assistant, just so you know, like I teach everything that I do. And then my assistant also has a process that she does every time I post on my blog. And she takes my blog post and she goes through this process where she goes out and she does all the stuff. Some of the stuff I don't even like understand exactly what she's doing because she's learned it from other places. And so what I've asked her to do is we're going to do a webcast where she's actually going to show from beginning to end what she does with my blog posts so that everybody can see it live. And it's a video. It's going to be a bonus module inside the product. And so what's so cool about this is that she, you know, like if you want to take that, like what she does with my blog content, which is effective. You know, I get a lot of traffic. So if you want to take that and do it, you know, you can use that video to, you know, learn what she's doing yourself to do exactly what she's doing. Other cool thing you can do with that video is if you want to outsource that, like I have, you can literally take that video and give it to somebody, hire somebody and say, here, do this every time I post on my blog. It's like training that you can just hand somebody to have all of your syndication handled. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's such a cool thing that we're doing as a little bonus there. And then step 5 is cash in, how to monetize your blog, how to get paid for your work. Because again, you know, your blog can be a hobby and that's fine if that's what you want. But if you want it to be an income stream, you need to learn how to monetize it, how to get paid for blogging. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people just, they don't know how to do. So that's covered in detail as well, okay? You know, and so if you learn all of these things, you'll have everything you need to create a full-time income from your blog, basically. So there you have it. So, so let me just talk, before I jump into my training, I just want to talk real quick about why I created this CrossFit blog and what's been happening with it. So again, you know, this training today, I'm going to be talking about defining your ideal niche. You know, I've been blogging since the beginning about internet marketing. And what I've done is, you know, which I'm going to teach you today how to do in any niche, but, you know, I've basically just decided that I wanted to learn how to do internet marketing. And so as I would learn stuff, I would turn around and teach it to people on my blog. And I had a lot of success doing that. And just back in November, I decided I wanted to start a blog about CrossFit, which has nothing to do with marketing. It has nothing to do with a business. It has nothing to do with making money. But I just wanted to start blogging about my passion. So I started blogging daily. For the most part, since November, I've been blogging daily. I've missed a few days here and there, but I've been blogging almost daily since before Thanksgiving. And what's been happening is, I mean, to me, it's like miraculous because it's true. You know, it's just a true testament to what's possible when you truly follow your heart, follow your bliss, and tap into your passions. I've created a lot of traffic to my blog just by being consistent. And, you know, what happens when you're consistent is people start to expect to hear from you and they expect your content. And I teach all of that as well, as far as how to get your content seen automatically when you click the publish button and all of that. But that's been amazing. Now what's happening is I've got people showing up asking me if they can advertise on my blog, wanting to pay me for advertising. So I'm going to start setting that up. that's another income stream. I've put out since the beginning an opportunity for people to be guest bloggers, because I decided that I wanted to blog daily, and I thought, you know, it would be awesome to have some other experts in the industry show up and help me provide valuable content, because it would be valuable for my audience, and it would also, you know, give me a day off every once in a while from blogging daily. And so what's been happening now is I've got all these experts showing up. I've got a couple of doctors in the last couple of weeks have posted on my blog some really cool mobility stuff, or how to prevent injuries. Like, there's just all these amazing experts showing up and wanting to be guest bloggers on my blog now, which is awesome. I was asked to share the stage, so to speak, on a live webcast with Neil Patel. Neil Patel is one of the biggest blogging experts in the world, and that was such an honor for me to be there with him, and to be on this webcast with him. And that never would have happened had I not started blogging about something that I was really passionate about. So this is what I mean, like, doors start to open that you just couldn't have even fathomed. And now I also have people sending me products to review, like sending me stuff that for free, these amazing products in my niche. Like the other day I got this cool, I was gonna have it here to show you, but it's not right here, it's in the other room, but it's like a cool deck of cards that has different mobility exercises. It's called Mobility on Demand, and you know, stuff like that. Like, people are sending me products and saying, will you please, here's a product, my gift to you, will you please review it and write a blog post about it? And in return, here's a link where you can offer my product at a discount to your readers, and I will pay you an affiliate commission. So that's starting to happen. I was recently, just about a month ago, I spoke at a big bloggers event here in Boulder, and you know, I was asked to speak, like the only speaker at this bloggers night out. Again, that came from my CrossFit blog. So this, you know, blogging about my passion has given me exposure that I never had before when I was just, you know, blogging about my business stuff. So that's why I'm so unbelievably passionate about this. Not to mention, it's just awesome, and it's fun, and it's taken me to another level in something that I'm passionate about, the CrossFit niche. So, you know, like I said, I have some other people that have been going through my training, and they're, you know, having success with what they're doing. And some of them are going to jump on today and share a little bit with you about what's opening up for them. But right now, I'm going to get into the training, and I'm going to jump right into it. So I'm going to teach you the first step of the equation, which is how to define the ideal niche for you. And I'll also show you how to master your niche so you can stand out above the noise. All right, so let me pull up my slides here. Anything I need to know about the comments? Okay. Okay. That's not it. Yes. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen. Oops. I'm spazzing out here, guys. Bear with me, sorry. All right. That. I can't find the Hangout anymore. Oh, here it is. Okay. Woo. Okay. I know. All right. So I'm going to share my screen now. Real quick, Chris, was somebody asking about the replay? Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about this more in a little bit, but yes. And there were a lot of people that wanted to be here today that couldn't because they had other commitments, and so there will be a replay for this that'll be available for a couple of days. And I will also say that for those of you that are here today, I have some special stuff that's only going to be available for the people that showed up today. So, so yes, there will be a replay. Okay, let's see. All right, can you see my screen? Chris? Oh. Oh. Right, because I've got, well, can they tell? Okay. Okay, because I can't, when I'm playing the slideshow, I can't actually see anything.
We see it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to talk about how to determine your ideal niche. So, stay with me here because a lot of people get hung up thinking that whatever niche they're in now has to be their niche until the end of time. Or maybe you're an expert and you're an expert in something and you feel like, that's the niche you have to go into. Maybe you've invested 25 years of your life into becoming an expert in something, and so you've already determined that that has to be your niche. And, I'm going to talk about how that's not true, okay? And how you can actually use this, what I'm going to show you today, to determine a niche that is ideal for you, okay? And we're going to start off by talking about what are. Oh, can you guys see my slide? I just got a message. Can you guys see my slideshow, but with the things on the side, or do you see? Oh, really? I don't want that. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, all right. So we're going to talk about what are my passions. This is going to be one of the ways that we're going to help you discover your niche. One of the biggest mistakes people can make in life, which can lead to a very unfulfilled life, is never really following what they're passionate about because they don't think it's realistic that they could actually support their family doing that, or that they can earn an income doing that. And I love this quote here by Deepak Chopra: always go with your passions, never ask if it's realistic or not. And this is an important piece of the equation. I have found that, the opposite is true than, thinking that you have to go after something that has to do with making money. That when you get really clear about your passions and your purpose and you follow that no matter what, that's when the miracles happen. That's when everything opens up in your life and you get to lead a fulfilling life and make a really good living doing that. And that's been my experience since, I've allowed this in my life. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So now, for a second, I want to talk about the secret that guarantees a passionate life. Do you guys want to know the secret?
Yes. I want the secret.
So whenever you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, choose in favor of your passions. This is the secret. So unfortunately, people tend to choose in favor of the things they think they have to choose in favor of because they have bills to pay, they have a family to support, and so they're not actually choosing in favor of their passions. And, what God, the universe, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, wants for you and what you're passionate about are one and the same. And it's when we get in touch with what we're really passionate about that we get to experience love and joy and radiance on a much deeper level than if we're trading our life for something that we're not passionate about. So what are you most passionate about? What are you trading your life for? You know, like I said, we're all trading our life for something. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's something, like I said, that's unfulfilling. And again, when you trade your life for something that you're passionate about, you get to experience life on a whole new level. So one place to start to find out your biggest passion and your ideal path is to ask yourself this question. When my life is ideal, I am, and fill in the blank. So, you know, you might not know the answer to this right now, and that's totally fine. Maybe you've never experienced your life being ideal, ever, and that's totally fine too. But I just, you know, I challenge you to sit with this question for the next couple of days and see what comes up for you, okay? Because this is a really, really important question to ask yourself. All right, so I'm going to talk about changing lanes now, which is what I mean by this is being in touch with your passion to the point where you can follow it no matter what. A lot of times, you know, we have an idea about how things are going to go. Like we have a passion and we have an idea about how things are supposed to unfold in our lives. And a lot of times the way that they unfold is not the way that we think that they're going to unfold. There's a really cool video about this that I love that's actually a bonus video inside of this module in my course as well. But I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but it's basically a story of a guy who, the way he had a passion, and as to be an Olympic swimmer, and he had this whole way that he thought that his life was going to unfold by following that passion, by training to go to the Olympics and all this different stuff. Well, something happened that stopped that from unfolding the way that he thought it would. But what ended up happening was, because he was true to his passion and he followed his heart, even though it wasn't what he expected it to be or the way he thought it was going to unfold, things unfolded in a completely different way, and he ended up going down this completely different path, still true to his passion, and he changed a ton of lives along the way and ended up having this amazing experience. Anyway, you can watch that video if you want to see more about that. But anyway, it's pretty much guaranteed that things won't unfold the way that you think they will. I want to just give you another example that I recently heard, because I love this, because it has to do with blogging. So there was this kid who his passion is basketball, and his whole life he wanted to be a professional basketball player. And when he got to high school, it was pretty much determined that that wasn't going to be the path for him because of his size. He just wasn't, tall enough or athletic enough to be able to realistically play professional basketball. So what he ended up doing was he stayed true to his passion. He started blogging about basketball. And what he did was he was so fascinated by the guys that were getting recruited into colleges and that did have what it takes to actually go down that path to becoming a professional basketball player. So he ended up blogging about each of these guys. He ended up following all of these different players from different high schools, some of the exceptional players, and started blogging about them. By doing that, what ended up happening for him was he got sought out by this company that recruits college. I don't remember the exact details of the who, but it's their job is to recruit high school kids into colleges, like the ones that go and recruit and give the scholarships and all of that. What they did was they hired this kid when he was 17 years old, paid him a 5-figure income, put him in this beautiful office in a high-rise in Chicago, and had him, basically consulting with all of these recruiters, telling them who, because he knew everything about these players. He knew their strengths and their weaknesses and everything like that, because he was following his passion. He was blogging about this. And so anyway, he ended up, that is now his career. He's been what was the, he was on some, I can't remember now, was it not Entrepreneurs Magazine. Anyway, he was, Sports Illustrated, I think, did a write-up about him. Anyway, this all came from blogging about his passion, which was basketball, even though, it wasn't, okay, sorry, I just keep getting messages. So anyway, even though it wasn't about what he, it wasn't the way he thought it was going to be. When he was a little boy, he saw himself being a professional basketball player, and that's not what ended up happening. But because he stayed true to his passion, it unfolded in a different way, and he's still living a completely fulfilled life doing what he's passionate about. And that came from blogging, you guys, so this is exciting. So be open to what presents itself once you get connected and tuned in with your passion, because, as I said, a lot of times it's not going to be what you think. So where will your passion lead you? All right, so now we're going to talk about, okay, now that you're thinking about your passions and what you're passionate about, how do you determine your niche? What's your niche? So, I love Gandhi, and I love this quote: the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And this goes along with everything that I teach, which is about service. This isn't about you. It's not about, your niche is not about, in my opinion, for some people, they would beg to differ, but for me, I feel like your niche, it's not about where can I make money, how can I make money, me. It's about how can I serve others. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about when we talk about determining your niche. Okay, so here are some questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about these questions. The answer to these questions will help you determine your niche. And you might not have time to answer them fully right now as I go through this, but jot them down and sit with this, because this is really going to help you get clear about some stuff. So what am I most passionate about in life? What do I love to do? What do I love to learn? Who do I love to serve? Who would I love to teach? What topic would I love to teach? And let me talk about this for a second, because I think a lot of people get hung up thinking that if they're going to teach something, they have to be an expert already. So do you see the question that says, what do I love to learn? So you can teach as you learn. What I was sharing earlier a little bit about how I got started with blogging was, like I said, I wanted to learn internet marketing. I didn't even know what a domain name was. I didn't know anything about internet marketing, but I knew that I wanted to be able to earn an income from home and be home with my kids. So what I did was I started just like figuring it out on my own, and learning stuff via going to events, paying for courses, going to Google to get my questions answered, whatever. And so what I would do is, as I would learn something, I would turn around and teach it. And some of the stuff was like really stuff that might seem so basic. Like, I'll give you an example, and this is going to seem so basic to so many of you, but like the day I learned how to, I remember this day, it was such a breakthrough for me. I learned how to put a hyperlink in an AWeber email. And I was like, woohoo! And I wasn't technical. Like, that was a big deal for me to be able to do that. And so what I did was I made a quick video that showed how to do that. And because the fact of the matter is, if you learn something today, there's somebody else out there that hasn't learned it yet. So no matter how basic it is, you can turn around and teach that and make a huge difference for somebody. And people love following somebody that's teaching them the basic stuff if they're just getting started themselves. So that's the kind of stuff that I would teach. So, and then, the first day that I generated my first 5 leads on the internet, I shot a quick video and I showed how I did that. And I just kept providing value for my audience. As I learned stuff, I would turn around and teach it. And so not only was I providing a ton of value for my audience, but over time, I started to become an expert in my niche. I don't consider myself an expert. I mean, to a certain degree, I know I'm a lot further ahead than people that are just getting started, but I don't feel like we ever fully arrive and we're done. Like, and I'm going to talk about that more in a minute, but we need to constantly be learning. And so as you learn, you can teach. And here's the other thing. Be willing to start over. You may not be in the right niche, and your topic may change today. So be okay with that. Deep skills equal deep ruts. So here's what I mean by this. I touched on this briefly before. So maybe you build houses, and you've been building houses for 25 years, and you're really, really good at it. You've got some deep, deep skills in the house construction industry. Well, those deep skills create deep ruts, because what happens is when you've got really deep skills like that, it automatically makes us feel like, well, I've invested this, 25 years of my life into this. I'm an expert in this niche. This is where all the value that I have to contribute to the world is in this particular place. It's in this niche. And that's a rut, because you might not be passionate about building houses anymore. Maybe you were 25 years ago, but 25 years later, maybe you're burnt out on it. And you're not serving people by attempting to continue in that niche just because you're an expert in it. Do you know what I mean? You're not fully present and in your heart at that point. You're not being of service. You're just, going through the motions. And so deep skills can equal deep ruts. So don't let that stop you from, don't let that get in the way of you moving into a niche that might be completely different from where you are right now. Because we have a skill set, we often think that we need to stay there, and that can become a deep rut. So don't let that happen for you. So this is a limiting belief that a lot of people have. The marketplace knows me. And it's kind of funny. The marketplace doesn't know you. It's too big, too diverse, and moves too fast. If you've been in a particular niche, again, like if you've been building houses for 25 years, you think like that's who you're known as, and you can't move beyond that. Again, this is just a limiting belief, because we all have the ability to recreate our life starting today and be known for something else. And again, the marketplace is too big. It doesn't know you. And you're free to move about how you like. So just remember that this is a limiting belief. Starting today, you can develop new skills and start completely over. Oh no. Okay.
How many slides are there? Because we're like, it shows on the fourth one.
Oh, I'm way more than that. Okay, hold on a second. Huh.
Okay, so
Maybe I'll just do it from here.
Share your entire screen rather than share just a specific application. That's what you probably do. Screen sharing.
All right, sorry guys, I just heard we're having technical difficulties and you don't see my screen.
So just go ahead and hit share screen. You can do entire screen. So
Oh, see? Learn something new every day.
Good.
All right.
Everyone's loving it.
Okay, so okay, can you see it now?
Check with Steve for arrow in the chat.
Yes, we see it. Looks good.
Awesome. All right, sorry about that, you guys. Yes, Dr. Steve, feel free to jump out and yell at me if something's wrong, because I can't see anything from where I'm at right now. I've got my slides on full screen, so you can unmute yourself and just tell me to stop if something's not working properly. Yeah. All right, so here's the question that you want to ask yourself. What do you want to help people with? I mean, that's really, that's your niche right there. That's your life. That's your passion. That's your purpose. What do you want to help people with? Maybe you don't want to help people building houses anymore. You have something else you want to do. So contemplate that question. And remember this, you are one of a kind. There might be a lot of other people out there blogging about the niche that you determined to be your ideal niche. There are just going to be other blogs and videos and books and courses, etc. on topics in your niche, but none of them were written by you. There's not another blog by you. You are one of a kind. And this is something that you need to remember every day, because are my slides still not changing? I just got another message saying my slides aren't changing.
No, they're changing now.
Okay. Does it say you equals one of a kind?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, there's a delay. That's probably why. Okay. So, so don't let this get in the way. I think a lot of people, they also get, we have the deep rut situation like I was talking about before, but then the other thing that stops people from going into a niche that they're really passionate about is that they think that it's saturated, there's too many other people doing it. The thing is, you are one of a kind. Write this like on a big sheet of paper and hang it on your wall. I am one of a kind. Whatever you have to do to remind yourself that this is true, and it doesn't matter how many other people are blogging in your niche. Nobody else is you. Okay, and now I'm going to roll into mastering your niche. I love this quote here: "The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried." And you know, so this is like you saw earlier in the emails. We're going to talk about like how do you stand out above the noise? There's so many other people blogging in your niche. How do you be the master? So first, you know, you need to define your niche and then hang your hat. Choose mastery. Be on the master's path. Be the student first. So you want to constantly be learning. Just like I was sharing with you before, how, you know, every day I've learned something new and I'd share it with my audience. So whatever your niche is, be on the master's path. Constantly be learning stuff about your niche. Focus is the most important thing about mastery. So in this industry, I'm just going to use, you know, the internet marketing industry for a minute. People are horrible about sticking with anything. I'll give you an example. So a lot of times people, they want to learn how to market on the internet, and they ask me, well, what marketing strategy should I do? You know, there's a lot of different ways to market on the internet. There's paid marketing, free marketing, free Facebook marketing, paid Facebook marketing, blogging, video. I mean, there's so many different ways to market. So when somebody asks me this question, I always say, well, I can't answer that. You know, what you need to do is pick something that feels good to you, something that you want to jump out of bed and do every day, something that you can focus on and you know, not stop focusing on. A lot of people, you know, they switch back and forth. You know, they do Facebook ads for a week, and if they don't get results, then they're on to the next thing. And if they don't get results for a week after that, then they're on to the next thing. The key here is focus and realizing that you're not going to get huge results right out of the gate. And the same thing when it comes to a niche. Sometimes people will choose a niche and they'll start blogging in that niche, and if they don't start seeing results right out of the gate, they think they're in the wrong niche. So that's not true. You have to be okay with small results in the beginning. Like I said, big results will come later. It amplifies. Little things add up. So, you know, when I first started blogging about CrossFit, I decided I was going to blog every day, and I knew that I wasn't going to see results on day one. Here I was with a brand new blog on a brand new domain name. Nobody's heard of me in the CrossFit niche, right? The marketplace knows me for that. If the marketplace knew me for anything, it was not CrossFit. I'll tell you that right now. So I just decided I was going to start blogging every day, and I just kept doing that even though I wasn't getting a lot of comments on my blog, I wasn't getting a lot of traffic to my blog, I wasn't really getting any kind of result. It wasn't until I blogged every day for about 40 days that I started to see little things starting to happen, and from there it became more of a snowball effect. So, you know, this comes from focusing. So the only way to become a master at anything is to focus. And think about it. Think about the masters that you see that are like kung fu masters or, you know, piano prodigies, anything, you know, it's because they're focused. It's because, you know, they practice every day, and this is the same thing. Blogging is the same thing. If you're consistent and focused and you don't give up, once you define your niche, you don't give up and you stay in that niche and you keep becoming a master, you will have success. So how do you become a master? Well, the first thing you can do is study your topic. And I'm going to talk about reading books in a minute. This is not what I'm talking about here. What I mean is immerse yourself in the niche. Like if you are going to say you want to be blogging in the golf niche, then go spend some time out on the golf course. Immerse yourself in the culture. Get to know the people in the culture. Take a golf lesson. Watch other people that are really good at golf and you know, study their swings. You know, just be highly involved in the culture of your niche. Like for me, I go to the CrossFit gym like 5 days a week, and that's where a lot of my breakthroughs come from that actually, you know, kind of overflow into the other areas of my life. I get so much blogging material just by showing up there and getting coached because, you know, my coach helps me have breakthroughs. Or if I show up at the gym and somebody says something that I've never heard before, I'll come home and research it and learn something new and write a blog post about it. So if you're immersing yourself in your niche, you will never run out of valuable content to share, and you can be sharing it from an experiential level as well. The other thing that you can do is interview experts in your niche. Look for patterns and best practices. So what do I mean by this? So let's say you and you find out that all 5 of them have this one thing in common, one thing that they do on a daily basis that's led to their success. And you know, that's what I mean by a best practice, something that works across the board, something that's a common denominator. what that does is it gives you, success leaves clues. It gives you an idea of something that you can implement in your business, as part of, becoming a master in that niche, because that's what the masters do. But it also is going to give you a ton of amazing value to be able to provide to your audience, these interviews, and what you learn from them. I mean, you can share the interviews with your audience. You can record them. You can do like a Google Hangout and post the video. You can record an audio. However you want to do it, you can share the interviews. What you can also do is take a piece of that interview, something that you learned. I mean, each interview will probably give you like 20 different blog posts if you just take, 20 different things that you learned from that conversation. So this is a really, really powerful way to become a master in your niche. You're going to learn a lot by interviewing experts. And when other people see you in the company of experts, it gives you credibility as well. The other thing that you can do is read books on your topic. Did you know that if you read at least 6 books on your topic, you'll be in the top 10% of experts in your niche? Isn't that crazy? There's a lot of quote-unquote experts who have never even read 6 books on their topic. So, think about all of the amazing content you can get from reading books. I mean, there's just so much that you can, each chapter can be a blog post. Probably even less than a chapter can be a blog post. Some of the books I read, like one paragraph, inspires an idea in me that becomes a whole blog post or series of blog posts. So there's a ton of value that you can get to provide to your audience by reading books, but it also helps you become a master of your niche. So here's a little challenge that I want to throw out to you. Read 1 book and do 1 interview per month.
So much.
What? Oh, I heard somebody. The continuity of learning is mastery. So, if you read 1 book and do 1 interview per month, again, you're going to be providing ongoing value for your audience. You're going to create an audience faster because they're going to stick around because they're going to see that you're constantly, learning new things and sharing that with them. And when I say the continuity of learning is mastery, I touched on this before. I don't believe that we ever arrive, like, okay, I'm a master now and I don't have to learn anything else. We need to constantly be learning. So this is a good way to keep yourself up to date with your niche and in tune with, the experts in your niche, and just constantly be on the master's path in your niche. So 2 ways to create valuable content. This is my last slide, you guys, before we're going to move into the next segment here in a minute. But anyway, I want to give you 2 ways to create valuable content. So 1 is research and report. So this is kind of what I was just talking about. Learn from other people's perspectives, condense what you learn, and share it with your audience. This can be through, books, interviews. So this is, for example, someone can teach real estate or have a real estate license without owning a house because they've researched it. They've studied it. They've gotten their license. I had a therapist when I first went through I got sober 17 years ago, and I needed like the best therapist that money could buy because I just needed a lot of support on my path. And the guy that I went to was a PhD in drug and alcohol, whatever. I don't know what exact his title was, but he had read every book on the subject, and he had his PhD, although he was never a drug addict or an alcoholic. He learned everything that he learned by researching, and I guess to become a PhD, you have to report too, right? Because you have to do your thesis. And so this is one really good way to create valuable content. Just really, do those interviews, read books, and then turn around and regurgitate that knowledge to. The other way is through personal results. So been there, done that. Like I said, if you're immersing yourself in the culture of your niche and you're out there on the court every day participating, then you can share from personal experiences as well. And this is a really, really powerful way to be able to provide content. I would say like the majority of the content on my CrossFit blog comes from my own personal experiences. It comes from I'm doing a clean challenge for 30 days, and I'm talking about what's happening with that, or something that happened at the gym that day, and a breakthrough that I had, and it's inspirational stuff to help other people, recipes that I find that I really like, stuff like that. And if you have both, that's the best positioning. So you know, the one thing that I can say about my therapist that I had was that because he had never walked in my shoes, he couldn't relate to me at the level that I needed him to relate to me at. Because although he'd read all the books, he hadn't experienced it on an experiential level. I actually ended up getting more by just doing stuff that didn't cost anything, because I could be in support groups with people that had been where I was. So if you have both, that's the best. You know, you've done your research and you've experienced, you know, you have your own experiences as well. Then you're in a place to really provide a ton of value for people. All right. So I'm going to go back to me. Chris, do you want to check while I'm doing this to see if there's any questions I need to address? All right. Oh, good. All right. All right. Let's see where I'm at here. All right. So was that helpful, you guys? I hope that that helped. And so what I want to do now, you guys are going to love this, is I'm going to bring out our first expert. And this is, you know, I thought this was a perfect segue into this because his name is Dr. Steve, and Dr. Steve Shiner, and he's a doctor, and he's Dr. Become Internet Marketer. And I wanted to bring him out today because he's a perfect example and a case study for what's possible when you blog about a niche that you're really passionate about and what can come from that. So Dr. Steve has recently started, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this, I'm going to have you do it, Steve, but he's recently started blogging about movie trailers. Okay, and so can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Steve, and how you became a movie trailer expert?
Sure. You might be using the word expert a little loosely there, but sure, I'll take it.
Well, okay, let me phrase it this way. So, you are a doctor.
Yes.
Share a little bit about you. You are a doctor, and you're blogging about movie trailers. How did that happen?
Okay. All right.
And what have the results been like?
Yeah, I'll give you the nutshell version of that. Yeah, I'm actually an eye doctor. I live here in South Florida. I've been an eye doctor for 17 years now. And it dawned on me one day that I was a slave to my job, basically just like everybody else, because if I didn't show up for work, if I wasn't seeing patients, I wasn't getting paid. And there were days where my patients weren't showing up, even though I was still at work, not getting paid, because if I'm not actually working with a patient, I'm not generating any revenue. So I'm forced to be at my office. So because of that, because I realized that I would have to work forever in order to make money, and I would never have the time freedom and the life that I wanted in order to go do the things that I wanted with my wife and my kids, I knew I needed to start doing something else. And I started looking into other ways to create income without having to tie myself to something else. You know, I didn't want to replace one job with the other. I wanted something that would go work for me and make me money when I wasn't working. So one day I was introduced to blogging as a way to market and promote. I mean, I've been in traditional network marketing companies, never really made a substantial amount of money because that required so much time also, calling your family, calling your friends, doing hotel meetings and three-way calls and all that nonsense. And I did all that. And the problem with that is the better you get at it, the more you have to do it. So I did replace one job with another. I was on the phone all the time. I was showing the plan all the time. I was at hotel. I was always out, never home, and it didn't replace my time. It took up my time. So that's when somebody told me about blogging and said, hey, you know, you can blog and you can reach a whole lot more people. You can market basically to the whole world, and your blog will market and work for you 24/7 whether you're asleep or awake. You don't have to physically be doing things. And that just seemed genius to me. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this sooner? And that's kind of how I started blogging. I've been blogging for years now, and in the beginning I made the mistake that you alluded to earlier, Amy, which was I was blogging about everything. I had one blog, and just whatever came into my stupid brain that particular day, I would write a blog post about. But the problem with that, the mistake, as you said, is if you don't pick a niche, if you don't pick a theme for your blog, readers don't know what to expect from day to day. So they come to your blog one day and they read about health and wellness, and the next day they're reading about internet marketing. They're like, what? And they don't come back because there's no consistency. So I realized I had to pick a theme. So I've blogged about a number of things. I actually have several blogs. Health and wellness has always been a passion of mine. I do have a blog about internet marketing, online marketing, and blogging, of course. But yeah, I do have a movie trailer blog. Like, we're coming up to the movie trailer thing. The reason why I developed a movie trailer blog was for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to demonstrate to others how easy blogging really can be, and how you can blog about anything that you want to blog about. I mean, if I can blog about movie trailers, you can blog about anything. And the thing you have to understand, like, if you're considering a blog and you don't know what to blog about, as Amy said, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you like? What are you interested in? Because if you like it, if you're passionate about it, there are plenty of other people out there that are also. I'm a big fan of movies. I love movies. I love going to the movies. I love watching movies at home. And one of the things I love is movie trailers. I love watching the movies that are coming out. I love trailers that tell me whether I should or should not see that movie. So I decided one day, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a new blog, and I'm going to make a movie trailer blog. And all I'm doing is, it's a very simple concept. It's basically just movie trailers. There's a short little blurb. I grab an image of the movie poster, a couple paragraphs about a description, who's in it, when it's coming out, what it's about, and then I embed the link to the movie trailer. And it's so simple, and yet so many people have come up to me and said, it's so brilliant, I wish I had thought of that myself. But it's really just about what you're interested in. Like Amy said, you got to find your passion. What are you passionate about? Now, movie trailers isn't my sole passion, and granted, I don't spend a lot of time doing this because it's really simple to create these blog posts. But that's kind of where the movie trailer thing came from, because I wanted to demonstrate to some people, A, you can blog about anything, and B, how easy it really can be. I think a lot of people confuse blogging as something that has to be really complicated or really difficult, and that's really not the case. If you do it right, and you do it kind of like through following a guideline that somebody can share with you, Amy in particular, you follow her advice, you can have a successful blog. It doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be massively time-consuming, and it can work for you. Whatever result you're trying to produce, a blog is really effective at that. So that's where the movie trailer. Hopefully, I answered that question, Amy.
That's awesome. I love it because I know that I've watched some of your videos where you kind of talk about what you're doing, and it's like it really doesn't have to take a long time, and yet you're able to produce a lot of results. And it's the consistency factor. If people, like, your blog is now kind of the go-to place for a lot of people for when people that want to know what movies they should watch, right? So. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. So let me ask you this. Do you think that anybody can do this? Do you think anybody can succeed at this?
Oh, anybody can do it. Yeah, it's because it's not hard. It's a skill. It's a basic skill that, like, if you can read and write, you can blog. And if you have something that you're interested enough about to blog about, then, like I said, there are other people out there that want to read that. Whatever you have to share, there's somebody out there that wants to read it. And like you said, consistency is king, because a lot of people are concerned about it. Like you said, well, what if I want to blog about something that all these other people are blogging about too? It doesn't matter. You know, they may not be doing it the same way you would do it. They may not be doing it consistently enough. They may not be doing it in a way that they're getting even noticed or ranked or indexed with the search engines. So you have to do it the way that's the right way to do it. Yeah, of course, but anybody can do it. But doing it every day, it takes a while for Google and the search engines to understand that someone is for real. That's why consistency is so important. That's why blogging regularly, daily at best, but 5-7 times a week is best, because the more you do that, the more the search engines understand that this is for real, and they'll start taking you more seriously. You start getting comments, start getting more traffic, and you're going to start getting ranked better on the search engines. But there's no question that anybody can do this. It's really just if they have a passion, and if they're willing to do it consistently, they can have absolutely any amount of success that they want with it.
Yeah. Yep, it's true. And where do you think this industry is heading?
The blogging industry, you mean?
Yeah, blogging and making money from home on the internet, all of it.
It's just going to continue to grow. I think it's just expanding, because the internet is not a fad. It's not going away. You know, like I said, I was in traditional network marketing for a long time, and I was doing all of those things that most people hate to do. You know, which is bugging your family and friends and making cold calls and collecting business cards. And it's very limiting. It's limiting in your reach, because you can only reach a certain number of people that are in your either immediate area or somebody you already know that's on your contact list. Well, what blogging does, what online marketing does, is it allows you to reach so many more people, and instead of you chasing after them, you have them coming to you. You know, it's called push marketing versus pull marketing, right? It's attraction. You're bringing people to you because they want to know more about what it is you're writing about or what it is that you're doing, instead of you trying to force it down somebody's throat and convince them to either look at it or do you a favor, you know, those kind of things that they teach you to do in traditional network marketing. So I think the industry, in all honesty, especially blogging, has really just scratched the surface. And I think it's just going to continue to grow from here. I don't care how many people, like if I have an interest in something, I don't care how many other people are doing the same thing. I know that I'll have my personal spin on it, and I can make it successful whether somebody else is writing about the exact same thing or not. So I think we've really just scratched the surface of this thing.
Yep. Awesome. And so my last question for you is, what's one piece of advice you can give to our listeners today?
I'll probably reiterate some of the things that you and I have already said, is figure out what you're passionate about. Like, figure out what you enjoy, what you like, what you're interested enough that you're willing to make it something that's part of your daily routine. And I don't care if it's, quilting or skydiving or CrossFit or nutrition or movie trailers or whatever it is. If it's something that you're passionate about, I promise you, people are out there looking for that information. I mean, if you have something in mind, just go Google it and you'll see how many search results are out there related to that term, and it will give you a clue as to what kind of audience is out there. So just figure out what you're interested in, figure out what you're passionate about, and then go write about it, go blog about it. Remember something, it doesn't have to be good in the beginning. It just has to be done, right? Work done poorly is still better than work not done at all. And my blogs were awful in the beginning. I look back at some of my original blogs, and I still can't believe I clicked publish on some of those things. So just figuring out what you like and just doing it consistently, and just go do it. Don't worry about how perfect it is. Don't worry about how grammatically correct it is. Don't worry about people judging you or, oh, your grammar, your spelling, whatever. Just go and do it, and don't worry about any of that other stuff. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's your blog. You can write what you want. You can say what you want. You can put any pictures or videos that you want. It's yours. People want to judge you. Guess what? They don't have to come back to your blog if they don't like it. It's yours. Make it your own. Be original. Follow your passion, and you'll have success doing this.
Woohoo! I love it. All right, and so I want to let you guys know that to sweeten the pot today, Dr. Steve is graciously offering a bonus for those of you that grab the Next Level Blogging Blueprint today. And this is something that's definitely going to help you. It's a lead generation course that he created. Is that right, Dr. Steve?
Yeah, it's a list building course. Yeah, because I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to online marketing, especially blogging, is they don't create a way to build a list. One of the things about attraction marketing is you want to start collecting people's information. You want to get their email address. You want to continue to stay in contact with them to continue to have them read your blog, share your information with them. But if you're ever marketing a product or an opportunity or something that you want them to put their eyes on, you have a list of people that have been to your blog, that have opted in and subscribed to you, that you can continue sharing that stuff with, continue marketing to. So a lot of the mistake people make is they don't build a list. Well, this list building course teaches you what you need to do and how you can market to these people. And one of the things that we've included in this list building course, because the biggest question people have is, once I build a list, I don't know what to write to them, I don't know how to communicate with them. We have a swipe file built into this list building course with over 250 of our highest converting emails, with subject lines, with text and body. So, and you can pick it based on the category of the email that you want to communicate, based on what you're blogging about, based on what your passion is. So I mean, there's a ton of value in here. Normally it's $97. We're giving it away for free as a bonus for anybody that picks up the blueprint today, and I definitely recommend it, because Amy knows what she's talking about. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of other bonuses coming, but yeah, ours is going to be a list building one, which is going to help you a lot, building a massive list that's responsive, that shows up to your blog, and that communicates with you back and forth.
Woohoo! Yeah, that's awesome. So again, it's a list building course that he normally sells for $97, and it's going to be a free bonus today when you decide to move forward with me and the Next Level Blogging Blueprint program. So thank you so much, Dr. Steve. I so appreciate you taking the time on this Memorial Day weekend to jump out here with us. And it's always so good having you and hearing your words of wisdom.
Absolutely. I appreciate the invitation, Amy. Thank you.
Absolutely. Awesome. So give Dr. Steve some love in the comments. And, now, so I hope you guys got a lot of value from that. I know I did. And now I just, I want to go back to the opportunity that you have today, which is an opportunity to take your passion and your knowledge and, monetize it by using a blog through all of the processes, the stuff that you're learning today, and then all of the processes that I'll be able to take you further with as well. It's so awesome. You'll be able to do what you love and make a difference by blogging about your passions. And, I love Dr. Steve's example of, you know, it can be anything. It can be like movie trailers. Come on, it's like amazing. It's just, who would have thought that a doctor would be blogging about movie trailers, right? He could be stuck in one of those ruts where he thinks he has to blog about being a doctor or medicine or eyes, and he's not. He's blogging about movie trailers. So don't get stuck in your rut, okay? So let me just, to reiterate here, my course is a virtual training. I'm going to just give you some of the details about it for those of you that are wondering. It's 5 modules. It's full of videos that cover each of the 5 C's. And, you know, that I spoke about them earlier. The first module is classify, define your niche, construct your brand. The next module, do you need some coffee?
Eventually.
I might have to make Chris some coffee.
No, you don't. People are going nuts about Dr. Steve, so they were loving him.
Oh, Dr. Steve, Chris said people were going nuts for you in the comments. So again, thank you. Thank you for being here today. So the 5 C's of next level blogging are all going to be laid out in detail inside of this course. By the way, Max, I'm not seeing you on the panel right now. Max is supposed to be jumping out here in a minute. So if you want to jump on, I'm going to pull you out here in a minute to share a little bit about the course, because I know that you've been going through it. So anyway, Max, if you're here, come on out. Anyway, so we talk about classify, we talk about create. Chris is raiding my pantry right now.
What's new?
I think that's the only reason he comes to my house, is to eat my food. I guess he's not gluten-free anymore.
Do your website.
Okay. And then we talk about the second C, which is to create and to provide value for your audience. The third C is connect, how to develop a deep connection with your audience and how to do keyword research and all of that stuff. The fourth one is to convey, how to get your message out there, how to get your content seen, how to get traffic to your blog. And I'm going to show you a detailed layout of all the modules in a little while. But and then the fifth one is to cash in, how to monetize your blog. And what I'm doing as a special bonus for the people that get the program today is, normally this is just a virtual program with all these modules that have, each module has a bunch of videos in it. But it's literally like over the shoulder, watch me do everything that I possibly can do to show you everything that I do. But what I'm doing in addition to that for the people that get the program today is I'm offering a live Q&A call each week so I can get your questions answered as you finish up each module. So we'll go through a module per week together and then have a Q&A call. I have the schedule already done for the Q&A call schedule. It's going to be once a week, and the calls will be recorded as well. You can even submit a question even if you can't be on the call, so I can make sure that I answer your questions. And that's for the people that take advantage of this promotion right now. So you don't have to be out there on your own, and you're going to be inside of a coaching program as well. And we also have a Facebook group where you can interact daily with the other participants in the course. I don't know if I made this clear before, but I launched this course in a pre-launch phase from the stage at an event that I was at recently, and I've got 15 or 20 people going through the course right now, and so people have, a lot of stuff has been opening up for these people, and so what I want to do right now is, I see Max is here. Max, you got a haircut. I'm going to pull Max out to, if you want to just jump out, Max, and share a little bit about what's been opening up for you by going through. Max is one of my pre-launch people.
What's up, guys? Yeah, sorry, I was I got the kids here. It's Memorial Day weekend and they're running around the house. So I was like, let me just stay off the thing in case they hit the unmute button. But I mean, guys, like, for those of you guys that have ever started a blog, you know what I mean, and not actually known what to do, because I know when I first started blogging, you come up with 20,000 ideas about what to blog about, you know what I mean, and you're not really sure. and and they start hitting you with words like figure out your niche, pick your niche, and you're like, what's my niche? What am I supposed to write about? And then it's like, what are you passionate about? You're like, well, I like 25, 45 different things, and exactly. Here, hold on, we got to get a special invite from somebody here. So I'm really passionate about my kids. You know what I mean? I'm really passionate about art. I'm really passionate about sales. I'm really passionate about other stuff. And basically, like what your whole training program had me really get some super clarity on, because I've got about 5, 6 different blogs that I blog on now. You know what I mean? And like my first one was this melting pot of thoughts and ideas and just craziness going on, where it was just like one day I'd be blogging about music, and one day I'd be blogging about the best meal I ever had, and then one day I'd be blogging about my kids, and then the next day I'd be blogging about business stuff, and it was all over the place, and there was no clear message. And while I got some traffic on it, I went back, and after going through your course, I went back and looked at my blog, and I was like, man, this would make no sense to me if I was reading this. It's like there's no clear message, there's no clear anything. So it actually inspired me to pretty much start up like 3 other blogs that were all very fine-tuned with a very fine-tuned message. And it was like we were discussing before, like once I had a pinpoint clear message on what I was actually writing about, and per blog, you know what I mean, per domain name, which was also one of those weird things that it's like you get online and like it's all these like I don't understand, I don't understand, what is this, what is that. And each blog now and I'm not even like, a lot of these I'm not even like, I'm kind of just like doing it on my own thing. I'm not doing a lot of syndication in groups or anything like that. I want to test it like pure without like, and I'm getting organic traffic to these blogs, to these posts, to these URLs, because they're so specific, because they're so niche defined. You know what I mean? And there is a clear-cut purpose to them. So. And I know exactly where Dr. Steve is coming from on this too, because when I first got online, like I run a business for myself, and after it happened a couple of years ago, where I realized it's like, dude, I'm a slave to my business. Like I was working 7 days a week, 80-hour weeks, to the point where I'd come home and there'd be an hour before my kid's bedtime, and they're like, Daddy, and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna eat some food and tuck you guys in, and it sucked, and it really, really sucked, and yeah, so I mean, I think everybody has, if you're a parent, you understand that. It's just like there's nothing worse than like not spending time with your kids and not having that connection, and I made a decision at the beginning of this year to just like to do that, to spend more time with my kids, to spend more time, like really like value my time with my children and whatever, and basically and build a business that and that really is the beautiful thing about having a very niche specific blog, because if it's something that you're passionate about, you're not the only one that's passionate about it. I mean, there are plenty of people out there that are doing the research for it, and if you build something, especially, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be the only blog that's about that, but it is your blog about that, because it's like, it's, you don't have the only CrossFit blog, you know what I'm saying, but you have your own CrossFit blog, and whereas there are other people that may not connect with the more technical or the more, I'm super passionate about CrossFit, you know what I mean, and I'm going to take pieces and bits and just like that, you build it. And what's funny is my wife had no idea what blogging really was, how it actually worked or whatever, but she's part of the the Facebook group for the stay-at-home moms, in the neighborhood, and there are a couple moms in the neighborhood that are bloggers. You know what I mean? They've built businesses from themselves, a lot, and it's fashion blogs, it's kid blogs or like mom blogs or whatever, and they've been able to monetize this, but they've only been able to monetize it because they got so very specific about it. So the training modules themselves, like I went through it, and I was telling you this as you were posting them, I was going through it, I was like, dude, this is like streamlined clarity for what I was looking for, and it helped me, and it's basically it's helped me kind of take each thing that I'm passionate about and just really just focus in on that. And it's not even so much about building it to monetize right now, it's building it to help, building a blog to serve, because it's like you were saying, it's like once you just do it, and it's only, I mean, you only started doing the CrossFit blog 6 months ago now.
however long ago November was.
Yeah. So I mean, well, if it's May,
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
and Thanksgiving was, yeah, so 6 months. I mean, 6 months now, basically. But if you think about it, 6 months went by so fast, you
Mhm.
know, and it's like 6 months went by so fast, and out of nowhere now you're getting, I want to advertise. I want you to do a product review. I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. Whereas, like, if you didn't do that every day, you know what I mean? If you didn't start that blog, or if you did it, like, without a clear cut idea of what you were blogging about, you know what I mean? It would just be another blog. You know what I mean? It'd just be another blog with no real clear message or whatever. And that's kind of what it is, to where it's like, when you have a clear cut concept and idea and thought process and passion behind what you're doing, it really, really just solidifies and attracts the right people that are looking for help, that are looking for the ideas, that are looking for the information that you're now providing them with, and with a personal spin and a personal touch and all that. So yeah, I mean, it's I love it. You know what I mean? I love it. Just, I remember I was first introduced to this. I was like, all right, I'm fired up because I want to learn this, because that was one of my major hurdles.
Mhm.
Writing wasn't a problem for me. You know what I mean? It was just, but what to write about and how to stay succinct and keep a clear message was huge. So yeah. So on that note, I just want to say thanks, and for those of you guys listen, the bonuses are there. Everything else is there. I recommend jumping on and getting it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Max, so much for jumping out and sharing that with
My
us.
pleasure.
Thank you for trusting me and being part of my pre-launch. Because guys, part of the reason why I wanted to do it this way before I opened this up to the masses was because I wanted to make sure that it was clear that people were getting what they needed, and that no stone was left unturned. And so the Q&A sessions that I'm talking about, I've been doing it with my really cool, because most of the questions I've been getting, a lot of the feedback I've been getting is like, wow, I didn't know any of this was even possible, or that you could even do this, or that you could even generate leads this way. There aren't a lot of questions, like, it seems like the content is full and rich, and it's what people need, and so that's been really good feedback for me to know before moving forward with it. And it's also, an opportunity, like I said, for the people going through it to get the questions answered one-on-one with me in a group setting every week. Whether or not they can show up live, they can still submit the questions, and I can go, jump on a Hangout and show my screen and show specifics for the specific questions if there was somebody that was stuck with something. And the beauty about the group setting, too, I think, is that sometimes somebody will have a question that you didn't even think of, but you benefit a lot from hearing the answer to that question. And so it's a powerful way to go through this. And so so I'm just going to give you a little bit more of the details here, and then we're going to roll into our next expert. So the investment, I'm sure some of you are wondering, the investment for this course, for those of you that decide to act now and be a part of the group coaching, is $9.97. This is early bird pricing. You'll still be able to get the course later. It'll be full price, and it won't be, the live coaching won't be part of it. It'll still be available. And you're going to get Dr. Steve's lead generation course, which is a $97 value. And I'm also throwing in, for the first 12 people, this is huge, so listen up, an event ticket to my Next Level Blogging Breakthrough event. It's going to be happening in the spring. By the way, I just want to say that anybody that's already bought my course and is going through it in the pre-launch, because I know you guys are going to wonder this, every single bonus that I offer today, you guys are getting, okay? Because I just honor you for trusting me and for being part of this. So I don't want you to wonder if you're going to, because there's some cool stuff that I'm offering today that you guys don't have yet. So you will be getting, for the first 12 people that take advantage of this today, you're going to get an event ticket to the Next Level Blogging Breakthrough event that's going to be happening in the spring, which also includes, the ticket itself is worth $9.97. The tickets are going to start at $9.97. So that's basically the whole price of the course you're getting for free in an event ticket. And I'm also going to give you a guest pass. You can get access to a guest pass if you want to bring a spouse or a significant other or a friend for $197. That'll be available. You get a free ticket and a $197 guest pass if you would like that. It's going to be an awesome event. There's going to be some other really cool expert speakers there. And if you have ever been to any type of live event, you know that you know, the networking opportunities and the friendships and the relationships that are formed at events cannot be, you know, you just can't get that anywhere else. I just got back from an event last weekend, which was a lot more than $9.97, I'll just say that. And, you know, I learned a lot from the training, but what I really came away with was like 6 new, like, best friends. We ended up having like this little, because we did so much masterminding and stuff, I came away with like a tribe of new friends, and we're all here to support each other as we move forward on our paths. And so this is the kind of stuff that comes from events. And so I wanted to give you the opportunity to take advantage of that, you know, and offer you a free ticket for the first 12 people that jump in with this program. And let's see, you know, basically, the reason I'm doing it for the first 12 is I want to acknowledge the fast action takers, and the reason for that is because I know that you're going to be my best students, people that, you know, the action takers, and that's what I want. I want people that are ready to fully commit and stay close to me, and, you know, people that are ready to take action and create a blog and a brand and a life that they love. Okay, so I'm about to bring out my next expert, but right before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit more in a little bit about, you know, the you know, the full details of this course. But I'm going to go ahead and, yeah.
So we got a quick question that I think might be a really good time just to quickly throw in there for some clarification before we move on. And Deborah Anderson asks, okay, so this has to do with the cash in part. What does Amy mean by having people advertise on her blog? Do they rent space? Does it have to be an affiliate thing where you get a percentage? Could you just clarify? Some people are trying to put their head around the business model. Right?
Okay. Yep. 1 second. I just want to make sure that this is live. And
you may want to clarify that because they probably hear you too well.
Yep. All right. I will. All right. I just want to make sure that the that this just went live on the page. I wanted to put the button up for you guys because I know some people want that event ticket and you want to be one of the first 12. So so the button is there now where you can go ahead and grab it. And also yeah, refresh the page, and then you'll see a link above the button, and I'm putting that there because one of the things I told you I was going to teach you today was 7 steps to turn your blog from a hobby into an income stream. Because of the time we're at right now, and we still have 2 more experts, I might not be able to go fully into that. So I put that, knowing that I might run out of time, into a PDF that you can grab right there. So in case I run out of time, if I have time, I'll go through the 7 steps. But in any case, there's a free PDF for all of you. Thank you for showing up today. And then the button is there. There's, just so you know, you can pay in full, and I also have a 2-pay option. So if you want to do 2 payments, that's available as well when you click that button. So what Chris was asking me was, he said that somebody had a question. Deborah Anderson had a question about the advertising aspect of, you know, when you have a blog that gets a lot of traffic, that has a lot of authority, or, you know, that people, you know, when you start to make waves in your niche, what happens is it becomes valuable real estate on the internet. And so what's been happening for me, I mean, you can do this however you want, but what's been happening for me is people want to know how much I charge for them to just basically put a banner on my sidebar. You'll notice when you go to any heavily trafficked, go to the Huffington Post or CNN or any like big, you know, blogs, that is such valuable real estate. That is like, those are blogs that have like tons and tons and tons of traffic. So they can charge thousands of dollars for a little banner, thousands of dollars per month per banner on their sidebar, because people want to be there. They want to be seen. And if, you know, it's a highly trafficked blog, people want to advertise on it because they know that, you know, it's a good place for them to get seen. And so I haven't figured out my pricing yet, but I'm having people now contacting me saying, how much can I pay you to put a banner on your sidebar? So that's what's starting to open up for me now, and which is giving me the opportunity to look at, okay, I need to determine, you know, what's my sidebar worth and what do I want to start charging for people. And the thing is, when people start to get results from that advertising, then you can increase your prices and stuff over time. So did that answer your question, Deborah? I know there's a delay. So anyway, hopefully that answered your question. And if it didn't answer your question, then go ahead and let Chris know in the comments, and I will come back to that. Right now, what I'm going to do is bring out our next expert. So, all right, so our next, I'm really excited about this one. This is Steven Siemens, and Steven is a video expert, and I have seen his work. He is amazing. He actually, I don't know if for anyone that's heard of Lisa Cherney, she was one of the people that was, one of the main speakers at the event that I was just at, and he's done her stuff for her. She's got like amazing videos. He's a video marketing expert, and he's going to share some techniques for you guys about how to film yourself at home and the best way to create video blogging material. So Steven is a complete master, and I highly recommend that you pay attention to everything that he's going to offer. So, you there, Steven?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, very cool. So yeah, so what I do is I create high-end video content for committed entrepreneurs that really want to take their marketing to the next step, to the next level with video. And what I thrive in doing is creating a comfortable environment for my clients to really work in, be themselves, and express their unique transformation that they bring to the world. So what I really wanted to speak to your audience today, Amy, about is a system for creating scripts for their videos. And this really applies to blogging because if you want to do video blogs, if you want to incorporate video into your content, you really want to be thinking about creating a marketing video rather than just a content video. And the other thing I wanted to go into a bit later was just some practical tips and techniques that you can use to shoot your videos and really look professional and capture your essence. So I'll get into those a bit later, but first off, so I've created this system called Scripting Your Marketing Videos with Love. And LOVE is an acronym in that case, and I'll go into LOVE in a sec. But before then, I would just love to talk about why actually create a video for your blog. I've found, and I've seen in my clients, there's not going to be much follow-through with a video marketing plan if you actually don't have a reason for doing it. And that's really what makes it a marketing video. What makes a marketing video different is that it's an invitation to the next step of working with you. It's really, yeah, so it's an invitation. So if you are thinking about creating videos, it's important that you think about where are you inviting your audience to. Do you have, is your first step in transforming your clients' lives, is it getting on the call with you during a strategy session, or is it a low-end product that in turn brings people to that next level? But it's really your responsibility when you're making a marketing video to bring your clients to, or bring your audience to the next step so that they can actually see the transformation you provide. I think with blogging, we think that we kind of just need to create content videos, and I'm going to challenge you to make a marketing video rather than a just content video. Now, content does belong in there, and I'll go over the LOVE right now of the scripting system, and I'll show you where content lies in there. So first off, L is let them know that you get it. So this is really where you imagine your ideal client and where they're at and what pain points they might be facing. So I'm really into yoga, so I'm just going to kind of think about a yoga practitioner and what they might do. Let's say there's a yoga instructor that has a program about healing your body, maybe people that have injuries of some kind, serious injuries, and they've maybe lost hope for being able to walk again or do that next thing. So in this video, to let them know that this instructor gets it, he or she would say, like giving examples, look, are you are you facing a serious injury, and have you maybe lost hope in your future and what you can actually accomplish physically in the world? So they really, so you let them know that you get it. And then the second step, O, is offer your expert solution. So this could be where you actually mention your program, or you could just hint at the transformation you provide. So this yoga instructor could say, I've created a program that can actually help you in this, so there is hope. Or they could just say, as my expert advice, I would say do yoga. Yoga makes like the impossible happen with our bodies, and it really can transform us. So we've offered our expert solution. Now is V, which is value, give value. And this is generally the bulk of our video. This is where we really where we prove our expertise and we actually provide our content. So a yoga instructor, for instance, in line with the script I'm developing hypothetically, is to like maybe give scientific proof for what yoga can do for people, or maybe share success stories that she's seen with clients. Like my clients have actually seen this. So really going into maybe the science of what yoga can do for someone. And then after we've kind of given some content, some aspect of our system, we want to enroll our audience in the next step. So we've hinted at our system and given some content in it, and then E is enroll. So we're enrolling our audience in the next step toward our transformation. So this yoga practitioner might be offering a system where basically all you need to bring is a yoga mat, and then you hop on a Google Hangout, or maybe there's just a video session where she actually walks you through what to do. So she basically, at this step, she actually makes her offer and says, so yoga, like I've given you content, yoga, obviously I've proved that it works. Now take the next step with me, and let's help make this transformation happen. So that's what I've seen in my experience working with some of the top names in this transformation industry, this self-help industry, is that's the formatting that works best. Is L, let them know that you get it, really going down to that level. O, offer your expert solution. So that's really where you hint at what the transformation you provide. Then value, give value. This is your content. This might be what you were thinking about creating a video about, but now we're going to turn that into a marketing video by making it an invitation. And then E is enroll your audience in the solution. And that's really where we make the invitation to take the next step with us, which is our responsibility to do. So yeah, that's really what I've seen. That's how I create my videos. And speaking of Steve's movie trailers examples, that's actually loosely, that's kind of the formatting of movie trailers, and the good ones I've seen, how they really entice the arc of the story. I mean, that's putting it into marketing terms, so it's quite a long shoot, but I'm into watching movie trailers too, and that's actually sort of informed this system I've created as well. Yeah.
Well, you know what's so cool about movie trailers is it basically takes, like, they don't show any of like the boring parts of the movie or the crappy parts of the movie. They show the highlights to draw people in for them to want to go further, right? And so that's basically the gist of what we would do with a marketing video as well. It's like a trailer for you, for people to go further with you. And the work that I've seen that you've done for some of the top marketers out there is just amazing. So I know that you know what you're talking about. And so let me just ask you this, Stephen, do you think anybody can succeed at this with videos?
I do think so, yeah. I think it's really about really being in touch with that why. If you have a reason to do it, you're going to succeed with it. The only reason you would quote-unquote fail is not following through with a video marketing plan, or being in a state of fear about sharing your video with the world. And just like Steve said, start somewhere, start creating videos. And I will get into some tips in a bit that'll help you like really get a performance out of yourself that you love. I did want to, like, you did mention movie trailers, they show the best part. And that's really what the value V part of this is. Like, it's giving content that is maybe your favorite thing to talk about in the system that you're offering and the invitation you're making. So if I were, for instance, offering this love system, I would say my biggest passion is helping people get in touch with their reason to shoot video, that why. So I would be presenting content about that when I talk about this, and then I would maybe just describe the love system. So finding the piece of whatever system you're offering, and that's what you're creating this marketing video about. That's the content you're going into, and then you're hinting at the rest of it. So yeah, right on. So I'll just share some tips really quick, things that I've done and I've seen done to really get the best performance so that you do succeed, you like your videos, you like how you're presented. So one of the first things is considering your background. Webinars are definitely we're supposed to look like we're on a computer screen, so being up against a wall is a cool thing, but just how you, Amy, have pretty pictures behind you, so it does express your personality.
Children's artwork.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's really a gorgeous piece up there. I love that one. Yeah. Yeah, thinking about your background. So sometimes we'll be shooting in our living room and be up against the wall, but sometimes if we were just to turn our camera around, we would have this incredible set that like really demonstrates our lifestyle. And that's really the word, is like lifestyle, that we want to convey with our videos. If you're a psychiatrist, you might want to be in your office or in a very professional space, maybe credentials behind you. And having credentials behind you, I mean, that's sort of what your background is it's your credential. So consider your background when you're shooting your videos. We all have a design sense, and what you shoot is what you get. So just take a step back, realize you're looking at a two-dimensional image, and make that look cool. So one of the biggest points that we might not succeed is because of performance. We might not like our performance, and I would say if you're doing a kind of short video, maybe like somewhat less than 3 minutes or so, do a take and see if you like it or not. Your energy might be a little low to start out. It takes some time to warm up, but then do a take where you literally yell. You yell your words and you just like smile the heck and hurt your cheeks. Like, do a take that's so out of the ordinary you would never use it because it's just ridiculously you and ridiculously vulnerable and weird. But then the take you do after that is probably going to be the take you use once you tone it, dial it down just a little bit. So if you're just starting out and you're not really dialed into the tone you want to present, that's a cool technique to really take it too far, then dial it back just a little bit. So feel free to go past. You don't have to publish that take, but publish the one after it, and you'll love it. Yeah. So we went over this. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. So we went over this love system a bit, and I would say when you're shooting, script your stuff, then maybe break that into outlines, and then probably when you're shooting your video, have it in mind but forget it. The trick is to come from the heart when you're talking, and people can feel that. Just like when a movie's being made, you could really feel the energy on a set. When a comedy's being made, you could feel the funniness behind the scenes. I've seen a lot of like indie movies, and when they're so dramatically serious, you just feel that seriousness on set. You just feel there's no laughter on set. So make it fun, and that's probably the best advice I would give. Like, video is meant to play around, have fun with your marketing effort, and entice your audience, engage them by doing something fun near the beginning of your video. Something you.
Well, I've seen some of your videos, and they're definitely fun.
Thank you.
There's some really fun stuff. Like, I want to have you help me do like a fun commercial, like some of the stuff I've seen you do. So let me ask you this, because I do a lot of videos. I've always done a lot of videos, and I don't script anything. And so I'm wondering if when you talk about scripting, is it specifically for like marketing videos like you're talking about, or if someone I like to just, if I'm inspired about something, I'm walking down the street, I'll whip out my camera and just start sharing from my heart, and I've had a lot of success with that. And for me, scripting, I don't like it because it gets me into my head because I'm trying to think about what I'm supposed to say because it's on a script. And I definitely get, like, when I've looked at some of the work that you've done, these videos are definitely scripted because they're like acting out different things, and there's different people involved in all of that. So is that what you're referring to about scripting, or do you recommend scripting even if someone is just like doing what I'm talking about, walking down the street, and they just feel like shooting a video to connect with their audience.
Yeah. So I do think every video should be a marketing video. So it doesn't. Every video for our business should be a marketing video. There's place for art as well, and I mean these are artistic also. But so scripting. I think we should get to a point where we understand the system, and whether that's subconscious or not. If like I've heard the example, and the easiest example is kind of a health coach in the store looking at kale or something, or they come up to the kale in the store and want to create a video about that and mention kale. So you can follow this system, let them know that you get it, like, are you struggling with your health or curious about something health related? My expert solution is to eat kale. Kale does this, this, and this. That's the value part B, and I invite you to learn more at my website. So it's totally off the cuff, but it uses the steps in the
structure.
Yeah, so I'd say just like make sure you just there's a structure in mind so that you're actually moving people toward a next step with you. And that's what I think every video should be. So scripted, no, at least subconsciously outlined.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I like that, because I think, like, for me, I've made so many videos at this point, and I always talk about this too. Like, when you're first getting started, it's kind of like a deer in the headlights talking to an inanimate object. It's weird, but you get better at it over time, and I think the structure piece just gets kind of built in over time. So I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's on a subconscious level, and I'm going through a structure without even really knowing it. But I'm really excited about your love system. I've gone through this myself, your little course, and it's huge. I'm definitely going to implement that into my own business. Our viewers today that Stephen is graciously offering also a bonus today for those of you that grab the Next Level Blogging Blueprint, and it's this awesome training. I've already gone through it myself. Scripting for marketing videos that convert, the love system, and I'll read your little tagline here. Scripting marketing videos can be a challenging process when you don't know where to begin, and Stephen's created a system that makes this process easy. Script your marketing videos with the love system, and I especially love that it's the love system because I love love.
Oh, yeah, we all love love. Why we're here. So thank you so much for reading that and mentioning that.
Yeah.
It's something I would love to see. I definitely have a dream of the internet being filled with really clear, concise content that is structured and actually serves the people making it. So that's what I think this can really facilitate.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think it's a perfect fit for my students as well. And so if you follow this system, your marketing videos will be on point. They'll engage your audience and enroll them to take the next step toward the transformation that you provide for them. And this is something that Stephen normally sells for $147. And it's free today when you decide to move forward with me. So, Stephen, thank you so much for taking time out of your Memorial Day weekend to come share your amazing expertise with us and your amazing light. I saw somebody in the comments talking about how you are shining. The sky is shining.
Wow, lovely.
That's so funny because that's what I said to you before. Come shine your light today.
Wow, thank you, Amy.
So thank you so much for.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to connect with your audience. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence. It's truly an honor, and thank you for offering your wonderful gift to my audience today as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Ciao.
All right. So now I'm going to bring on our third expert, and as you guys know, this one is near and dear to my heart. And you're going to have to make yourself while I'm talking, Chris, because Chris is like right next to me in the other room. It's fine if you want to. So Chris, Chris is one of my dearest friends, and he's also my business partner. He's an industry expert, and he's the go-to person when it comes to storytelling. He likes to call it story selling. And And he's the founder of the Epic Story Academy, creator of the Epic Story Funnel, and he's just an all-around great guy, not to mention a total genius and a goofball.
No.
I'm going to move this over so it's more on you in a second. But so in this module, Chris is going to show you guys how to seed emotional elements into your blog post to engage your reader on a deeper level. And the big thing, not today, but Chris has graciously offered a bonus module inside of my course. It's part of my course. And in that module, he shows you how to seed emotional elements into your blog post to engage your readers on a deeper level. The one big thing you need to mention about yourself, hint, it's not what you think, and how to transition into selling with a story with zero resistance. And this is a value of $297, and it's available for you inside of the Next Level Blogging Blueprint. So thank you for offering that. He's not going to have time to give you all of that today, but
I'm going to try.
He's going to talk about, today he's going to talk about how to effortlessly transition from training to storytelling and why storytelling is so important. So how are you today, Chris?
I'm really good. We took an hour-and-a-half drive to get here in crazy rain and weather and cars, and we walked in like 2 minutes before she was going live. We were like, yes, we made it. But we were really hungry, so I had to raid her kitchen.
Yeah,
and
which
get
is
Pringles.
Nothing new. Okay, so let me move this over and let you do your thing.
This was fun.
Yeah,
this was lots of fun. So here we are. And first off, I want to give a quick shout out and thank Dr. Steve and Steven as well and Max for coming out and talking about and adding the amazing value. Steve, that was awesome with the video stuff, really enlightening stuff, and really cool to have you on, so appreciate you. And Dr. Steve, as always, it's always a pleasure. And dude, you lit up the chat, and people loved it. And so I just want
everyone loves Dr. Steve.
You know, everyone does. Everyone does. And so I just want
me.
And we all do. And Dr. Steve, it was awesome, you know, and just to help provide insight about the different dimensions that you can use in your blogging. You know, it's funny, like a long time ago, I was actually thinking about, like, well, there's so many people that are like always looking for movie trailers. How can I do that in a blog? Like, how can I find a way to do that? And funny enough, I went in a different direction in terms of myself when I was blogging about stuff and learning how to bridge it into things, but it was a funny idea at the time, and it's just cool to see someone who actually did it and made it work. So I'm actually real interested to see how that works too, and can't wait for that actually, and to see if it was kind of like how I was thinking as well. So
his blog is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it just looks cool.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's awesome. So we've got like a, you know, an all-star cast and a panel of people here, just, you know, quality, and so that's what I love about this too. And so really glad and honored to be here as well. And, you know, one of the things that I love is that, you know, Amy is my business partner. I'm just so grateful we can come down here and do these kind of things and work like this. And this is so much fun that we can do this. And I'm so honored and glad that, you know, I can come out here and actually provide value and give as well. It's a lot of fun, you know. So what I want to talk about today is ultimately, I like to call it the art of story selling. And you know, there's some argument about, you know, that trademark of saying story selling or whatever, and it's kind of funny because I was having this conversation with somebody last night about story selling, and it turns out that, you know, I found that Hollywood producers have, you know, certain types of scripts and archetypes and things that they do when they write scripts, and they have to have all these certain particular things accomplished and moments that happen within a script that makes us want to continue to watch our favorite movie over and over again, or read our favorite book, or listen to our favorite show, or our favorite song, because a song tells a story, right? How many times have you listened to your favorite song, right? And although you even know what's going to happen. And so I'm not here to tell my story today because a lot of you know it, and, you know, I essentially had a huge realization about being real and authentic with myself, which essentially the only thing I changed was starting to tell my realization of my story, and it completely altered my business and took me from, you know, low 3 to 4 figures a month to 5 figures a month, and at times multiple 5 figures in a month in my online business. And so, you know, I know that it works. And funny enough, I started figuring a lot of that out in the story selling stuff and telling stories, and then later come to find out, like, it's not exactly the same, but it's so similar to what Hollywood producers were talking about. And I was like, I really have something here. And what I'm blessed
with is that I was able to come into, you know, be an entrepreneur in internet marketing and started as an entrepreneur in my first home business when I was 18. And so I've been blessed to be able to have perspective and experience in being an entrepreneur in this industry of, you know, now online marketing. And so, you know, first it was network marketing, and then, you know, kind of taking the online marketing direct response world and kind of marrying the two together in a way that really works sustainably. And what I found is translating all of the story stuff to industry-specific areas and niche-specific areas is a thing that, when it's done properly, the sky is the limit. And I just kind of thought, wow, why can't I just translate a lot of this to, like, the, you know, network marketing niche, and then the, you know, the internet marketing niche was a little different. Affiliate marketing, where, you know, some people are more so just selling products and services versus building teams and stuff like that. A little bit of a different distinction and how to do that. And so for me, I essentially started to simplify it and realize that here's some main elements that really help to make it work. Is people got to know where you're coming from, and that is knowing what you struggled with. You know, I mean, just like you told your story at the beginning of this webcast, it's very important that people know where you're coming from and where she came from and why she chose to go in the direction that she did. You see, when people get that, they go, okay, now I know where she's coming from. Now I understand why she's doing what she's doing. And, oh my God, she's been through some of the same struggles that I have, and in fact, some that are worse. And what you do is you take away the excuses for someone to go, okay, well, I'm not like you, so I can't do what you do. And you see, that's one of the biggest things, even as speakers, that we talk about, is there's the one big objection that a lot of people go, oh, that works for you, but people are looking, and people in your audience, people reading your blogs, if you're attempting to introduce them to a better solution, and you're illustrating it with a story and talking about the successes of people who have done it, then the thing you need to convey the most is that that person sitting there watching you or reading your blog is just like you, to where they don't separate themselves and go, oh, sure, that person can do it, but I can't because I'm so different. And so when you tell your story, it makes you human, to where people realize that you are just a human being that puts your pants on just the same way, just like anybody else, and that you've had the same similar struggles. And it may look differently in terms of how the struggle was, but we've all ultimately felt and dealt with fear and pain and suffering and struggle and frustration and losing loved ones, or losing your job, or losing your identity, or going through a midlife crisis, or, you know, starting from nothing, or being completely dead broke, being completely in debt, and the list goes on and on. And so the masterful part of being able to tell your story is learning about how to be vague at the right time and being specific at the right time. Because how I could be, as an example, is I could say, you know, I looked at my credit card statements and I realized I was maxed out and I had no more credit and I was $15,000 in credit card debt, as an example. Or I realized I was completely out of credit and maxed out my credit cards. Now the difference there, when you heard those two phrases, is that I said 15,000, and some of you go, well, I might be in 20,000, I might be in 30,000, or I might only be in 5. Now some of you are still going to go, okay, well, I'm comparing that to myself. The better way is to say I maxed out my credit cards, and that person only looks at their story of, yeah, I'm 10,000 in credit card debt myself. You see, the funny thing is that happens in a conversation naturally is, isn't it funny that you tell someone something about yourself and they go, oh, yeah, but let me tell you about what I did. Oh, that happened for me this way, right? So someone is automatically, naturally, constantly referring whatever is happening around them and relating it to how it's relevant to their life and if they've had similar experiences. And so the funny thing about a story is there's quite a few elements about a story, but the most important one is connecting and helping people understand that you are human and you've been where they're at. And so that person knows, okay, you know what, this person is coming from the same space I am. And you may not be coming from the same space in a lot of different ways that you slice it, but you still come from a place of not having the success or not having the thing that you want, and what it was like not having it, and then moving towards how you found it. And the biggest question I always get from people is, okay, well, what about a story that does not, you know, that hasn't doesn't have the happy ending yet. And what I found is when I started to study copywriters is that there just needs to be the part in a person's brain that needs to know that certain things exist and are accomplished. And so oftentimes I have people come to me and be like, well, Chris, I can't tell a good story because I have no results. And that's kind of the biggest fallacy I see, because I actually did this without rarely any results at all. And in fact, my stories did not contain results at first, and I still started making lots and lots of sales in my business because people believed in the vision and where I was going. And I had also talked about who I was associated with and who I learned from and what they taught me, and I talked about their successes and what they have so that now they become the credible expert, and then I tie their expertise to me and say, and I'm going to teach you what they taught me. I'm going to get you access to the training they have. And so it's a third-party credibility element, which I found the law of third party was the biggest thing ever. When I was personally building my business offline, when I was building a traditional network marketing company a long time ago, funny enough, I used to walk up to people and literally sponsor them on the spot. And some people go, how the heck do you do that? And the reality was people would say, well, this is all great, but are you making any money at it? And I would always say, well, for the first part and for a long time, because, in some of those traditional companies, you do a lot and it's not necessarily making a lot of money. And this is not network marketing for this thing that we're doing, but this is a perfect example because it's entrepreneurship and it's business, right? And so I would tell them a story about myself and then also say, you know what, I'm just getting started or I'm just learning this stuff. And for me, I don't know all of this, but this person over here that's going to be at this meeting on Tuesday night is going to be teaching about this at our meeting at this restaurant, and you want to be there. And I'll take you with me if you want to go. And you can learn from them on how exactly it's done. And we'll do this together and I'll support you. It worked every time. And so I thought, well, wait a second, let me be able to get more articulate about my struggle and then also how to get more articulate about illustrating the solution and tying it to a result, which is all someone needs. They just need to know, oh, does this work for someone? And in your story, you may say, look, this person who has results, they were a lot like me, which is why I resonated with them. They had these same issues, these same struggles that we had, and they did it. And the person goes, I want to know more about that. And you see, when you tell a story, people let down all their guards because it's kind of like unselling. It's almost like the art of marketing without marketing or selling without selling, because people naturally, our brains are wired, just like Amy was talking about at the beginning of the webcast, about how people are wired to hear stories. It's the oldest way that people communicate. It's literally the way our brain has evolved, is that we need to know from a survival instinct where people are coming from, what they've done in the past, to be able to predict whether or not they're a threat to us in the present and going into the future. And so when you tell a story, the brain can create images and pictures, which is their own images. I may talk about, credit card debt, and that person is imagining their own credit card statement in front of them in their house at their table, looking at the numbers of what their debt is. Not mine. I didn't go and draw a portrait, right? They did that for themselves in their own mind. And so this is a natural process that happens. And so how does this apply to your blog? Well, when your blog, essentially, what is a blog? If we get down to the general part of a blog, it, morphed from the word weblog, which is someone who was, essentially, it's an online diary. And the funny thing with online diaries is that people are expressing their thoughts and telling their stories and telling their feelings and talking about their experiences, and people want to join in the conversation. And so it's worked so well. I've seen so many people use blogs to just be able to express themselves that they got better and better at telling stories. And so when I really had my big experience of starting to tell my story on my blog and then also telling it on social media and then telling a little bit on like Facebook and then having them click over to my blog that had a specific page where my story was at, that I got better at my signature story, which you kind of learn to have a few stories that illustrate main big lessons you've learned, right? You just kind of look back at your life and everyone has a few of those moments where you just know, like, you learned something huge and it was a turning point for you, and you learn to recount that story, and you get better at it as you tell it, right? And so I started to have my story on my blog and have it in different places, and direct people to it. And what I found is that the stories themselves worked really well. And what my different, unique approach is, which is what I'm going to teach in this course, is, mostly with blogging, a lot of what Amy has taught is being able to do this with your passions and your values and what you're really into and with your heart. And it's funny because your story is starting to become more interesting just literally by you sharing your passions. And if you are even doing an informative teaching type article where you talk about, hey, 5 tips to do this, what you do is you seed your story. You refer to how you may have learned these things through a certain particular story, but then you leave a cliffhanger. And so you're just putting in points about things that happened to you throughout the course of whatever you're teaching or learning. And so, as an example, I may be talking about how I first learned about, capture pages as an online marketer. And I was like, what about capture pages? Well, I actually learned about capture pages when I was on this webinar with my buddy Dave, who showed me how to do this, and he made like $26,000 in his first week, and I couldn't believe it, and I was like mesmerized. But let me get back to the capture page stuff. Someone goes, what? And then so you seed and drop a few things in elements of your story, which we're going to teach you. And then at the end of your blog post, instead of going, hey, buy my thing, what you're now going to do is you've now given value to someone. You've now connected. And now it's time to go and effortlessly be able to take every little bit of resistance away that there is left, and now start telling your story so people understand where you're coming from, they know where you're at, they know where you're going, and they know they can go there with you. And so I normally bring people to a, quote-unquote bridge page that has my story. And from there, people go, okay, now I want to really be a part of what he's doing. And it works so well for me that my average rates as a marketer, for you marketers out there, my average rates for opt-ins after stories is 40 to 65%. And for a lot of you who are playing in those, niches of people who are like make money online, you know that that's like, you're kind of like, okay, what are you over-promising? What are you hyping? What are you lying about, right? And it's not anything other than trust built when they're inspired. And so the real question and the takeaway I want for all of you tonight is I'm actually going to give you this quick structure so that you think about it for yourself, and then we'll move on and actually tell you about the other surprise bonus I'm going to offer for everyone who gets Amy's Next Level Blogging Blueprint as well, which is...
He always does this.
Of course. And she's like, you leave me on here long, I'm going to start giving away more stuff. So you're going to have to like grab me and be like, hey, get away already, right? Everyone here will buy it, right? So...
This is the first time hearing about this. I'm a little scared.
Hilarious. So the thing here about your story is you always have a place where you set the context and set the stage, which is essentially like, hey, let me tell you how I discovered or went from here to here. It's kind of like the TTH, there to here. I gotta find a formula or an acronym for that, right? But I keep talking about it with Irina. I'm like THW, yeah, like something square. Essentially, it gives framework and solidarity to somebody's brain. And see, I'm fascinated by the mind, and so I want to understand how to be able to work with people's minds. But I'm not about manipulation. I'm not about bypassing anybody's mental filters. I actually had some traumatic experiences when I was younger where people did that to me, and I vowed that I would never ever do that to someone, but I do want to understand how I can help and inspire people, and if I can understand how the brain works to be able to teach them better, inspire people better, help them be able to be moved by their own purpose better and their own story and get better at it, then I felt like I've done my purpose, right? And so here, the other part about that is just, making sure someone understands why they're listening to you, right? So it's kind of like, hey, let me tell you how I discovered this whole thing about doing it online and how I was completely broke before, and now how I am now a multiple six-figure earner from this. Someone goes, you have my attention. Now, for someone who has not made any money doing anything online as an entrepreneur, they can say, let me tell you how I discovered how blogging works to make money online, and let me tell you about the people that I found out about that are doing this very successfully. You won't believe what I found out. Let me tell you. And the next part is just your story, your struggle, just the tough parts you went through, struggle. And within that struggle, there's always a defining moment or a turning point where you're like, enough is enough, and this is the direction we're going, which is going on to your journey of your discovery, which is your search of how to solve this problem. And so oftentimes that is something like I got this email, or I Googled how to earn money blogging or something, right? and then you learn something because you clicked on something. You talk about what happened, right? And you illustrate it and make it real, so people are like, well, that's easy. I could Google something and click on something and watch a video. And you say, this video, it showed me that, it actually wasn't difficult to set up a blog. In fact, it's like so easy these days, and the real knowledge is just understanding the messaging and keeping it real about stuff and knowing how to do this marketing and messaging part, which Amy's actually teaching, right? And so with that, I now understand how to do this myself, and then there's a small part of your teaching, which sometimes, depending on the time you have, you teach what you learned, which is like the outlines, right? So people kind of go, oh, like, 3 things, 5 things, big buckets, I got it, okay, I want to learn more about these things, the 5 C's. With blogging, the 5 C's are the things that you need to understand in order to have the type of success Amy has had and others have at blogging about their passions and blogging about what they love and having a full-time income from it and running a business from it from home. And so then ultimately that story leads up, and I love this, you can even do stuff that really just is like, the perfect example is like risk reversal, right? Normally in copywriting, in copywriting or sales, you're like, hey, if you don't do this, you face the risk of not having something done right or not being able to do this very effectively. It's actually worse if you don't do this. And in a story, you can say, you know what, here's what I realized. I realized that if I didn't do this, that I would be even more stuck and have more of a problem tomorrow than I do today, because the problem I have today is compounding day by day, and I knew that I needed to make a change. And so I knew it was right for me to be able to take action. Some of you just got a light bulb. And so some people are like, oh, wow. And see, I wasn't going, hey, you should do this. And the person goes, wait a second, and they put up their walls and defenses. You just tell your story. The cool part is that you just tell the stuff that's true. And as you look back and re-remember your story with your perspective, you can simply say, you know what, looking back, even if you didn't realize it at the time, you can look at it and go, you know what, looking back, I realized that had I not made that choice, I would be in a way worse place than I am now, because my problem would have compounded, and I would have had credit card companies calling me and, having to, before long, I'd be going into bankruptcy and foreclosure, getting my cars repossessed, all that stuff. And so I knew that I made the right choice. Well, now you just made that risk reversal element of sales natural, and you weren't even telling it to anybody else. You were literally telling about how it worked for you. And so these elements are just important to have, and how you do that is so important. So hopefully a lot of you got some ahas and some realizations about how the story is essentially around everything. The story is what draws people to you, and they're inspired by you from a story, right? And so if you can do that effectively, think about the power of what you have today. You have the power of what Amy's teaching you, okay? 6-figure earner doing this. You have Dr. Steve, who has got like the coolest ninja stuff ever on things that like everybody in the world, like I Google movie trailers on a daily basis, and I don't even want to admit it, but I do. And so like before long, I'll probably run into one of Dr. Steve's posts and be like, ah, he got me, But I love his blog because it's awesome, because he knows how to do it, just like you will be able to learn how to do the same. And so the video stuff with Steven is amazing, and if you know how to be able to do that, and getting present with the camera and looking at the camera, which, I'm kind of like more so looking at the screen because it's the both of us. I'm just enjoying this and like liking this whole thing right now, right? Because normally we're like on separate split screens on Hangouts, right? And so like I'm actually looking down more at the camera, and I know Dr. Steve will probably be texting me being like, hey, dude, look at the camera already. Because
he's fascinated by me.
So understand that you have so much happening with this product. Steve's like, oh, I got it. Go ahead and chime in if you like. He's like, oh, I got something for you when you're done. Don't worry. And so what I'm saying here is, I'm going to be teaching this course inside this module that's really going to help you tie this around. And what you realize is the more you tell your story, the more that you're actually going to understand how to do and tell other stories of other people to illustrate points and teach and be even more effective for people to remember the stuff that you blogged about and made videos about. When you start to understand the elements of what a story means, that a human brain can follow and go, okay, now I get where you're coming from. I'm picking up what you're throwing down, right? So that's what I have. And here's my special surprise bonus. So on top of that special module, I've also got a new course in beta test called The Hidden Art of Story Selling that I'm going to give away for anybody who buys this course. and you'll be getting that along with everything else. So that is just another iteration of how you can do this, and that is something that is can teach you for how to build a team and how to tell stories of yourself or others, but also how you can ask yourself the right questions to translate that to any industry that you are, even if you're a small business owner that wants to be able to use stories and maybe tell a story about one of your clients and the success or what the results they had from whatever product or service you sell or provide or offer, and be able to eloquate that in a way that your target customer goes, I want that too. So this is universal stuff. So this is what I feel is going to be able to permeate everything else and add to everything else that everyone here has offered. And because I was listening to Dr. Steve and Steve's stuff, it was on the spot. I was like, you know what? That other training will really tie into what they're doing there because we're going in that direction. So they need this as well. So that's why I'm offering this today.
Awesome! Yay! That's gonna be huge for you guys. Chris is, you know, if you can't tell, he's a master at what he does, and he's a genius, and he's an amazing teacher. So so that's going to definitely, thank you for sweetening the
You're
pot
very welcome.
even more for everybody.
Like I said, guys, there's a reason why I had her on my stage at Epic Story Academy, because she has some very, very, very important stuff to share. So very honored that we were able to get her stuff into the hands of the people that were at my event, and be able to learn from that stuff, and some of those testimonials you've heard from and seen already, and you'll see more of inside the product. So
yeah, I'm going to bring a couple more out in just a minute too. I have a couple other people here that are going to just jump out real quick. Is it okay if I move this so I can see my
Thanks, guys.
screen? Thanks, Chris. That was awesome, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Chris has been blowing people's minds lately with the story stuff because, you know, I mean, everybody knows that telling stories is a really powerful way to communicate. Jesus did it, Moses did it, everybody, all the leaders do it. But Chris has actually broken it down in a way that people can actually understand the process behind it. And he's amazing, and I'm just honored to have him as a friend and a business partner. And you know, I hope that that the coffee's ready too, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
And there's maple syrup, coconut oil, and cream.
I'm on it. Don't worry. Don't worry about me.
Okay, no, I heard you laughing. I didn't know if everything.
Oh,
was
I'm
okay.
laughing at Dr. Steve texting me.
Oh.
Tell him leather next time.
Leather next time, Dr. Steve, whatever that means. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to thank you again to all of our amazing experts. I want to really quickly just break down everything for you again and give you clarity about the whole enchilada and everything you're going to be getting if you decide that you'd like to move forward with me today. And so again, the course is a virtual training. It's 5 modules full of videos that cover about each of the 5 C's. You know, I'm just going to show my screen real quick, and I'll just show you, and for those of you that haven't seen it yet, exactly what's inside of this course. I thought I had this up. Let me just pull it up real quick. Oh, there it is.
I'm glad you weren't offering Pringles as a bonus.
Oh, Chris. All right, let's see. I need to share my screen. This is where I always get technically challenged. Here we go. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so this is, you know, where the button on the page is going to take you, and it's got everything laid out for you. But I'm just going to show you here what's inside of this course. So, you know, you can read through all of this. This training is designed to help you massively increase your income using a blog, using blogging as a main form of marketing for yourself, your brand, and your business to create a following of excited customers. I know that all of our experts that we had on today helped you understand a little bit more about that as well. This is all the stuff that you'll walk away with, you know, insider secrets to getting more traffic, how to generate more free leads, all of that. You'll see some testimonials on here from my awesome pre-launch people who I highly honor and love. been amazing working with all of you guys. And then here are the 5 C's. Module 1, classify, define your niche, construct your brand. We're going to talk about how to determine your ideal niche, the importance of knowing your audience and providing what they want and need. That's a huge piece that I think a lot of people don't take the time to learn. Mastering your niche, the importance of it and how to do it. Creating a powerful bio to help your positioning in the marketplace. How to brand yourself effectively. So I talk about, you know, your niche, your images, your bio, your logo, all of that stuff. Again, this is all over-the-shoulder training where I show you, you know, I'm sure there's other ways to do some of the things that I do. I'm teaching you what I do and what I've done and what's worked for me. How to become an expert in your niche and make money along the way. Module 2, create, provide value for your audience, change lives, communicate your message. How to come up with awesome topics and headlines for your blog, how to schedule your content for the week and manage your time as a blogger, how to create awesome images to make your blog posts and your brand look more professional, how to create a powerful lead magnet to position yourself and build your list, how to add your personalized signature to blog posts. That's a little something I threw in because a lot of people, you wouldn't believe how many messages I've gotten from people asking me how I have my name like handwritten on my blog. So I teach you that in there too. Plugins that I personally use and highly recommend. How to create pop-ups, exit pop-ups, entry pop-ups. You know, the things that you see sometimes when you go to a website, right when you get there, something pops up, or right when you try to leave, something pops up to help you capture way more leads from your blog. Module 3, I talk about how to connect, the know, like, and trust factor, how to develop a deep connection with your audience, how to do keyword research to find out what your audience is searching for so you can get your content in front of them, to become the hunted rather than the hunter, how to capture tons of leads and provide a ton of value for your audience through webinars. You know, kind of funny side note, I got a message from one of our students yesterday saying that she was trying to do a Facebook ad and she couldn't get her ad approved. She was trying to promote this webinar. You know, you can promote anybody's webinars and build your list this way, and this is one of the things that I've gotten really good at in this way, one of the main ways that I build my list. She's like, I can't get this Facebook ad approved, and I want to promote the webinar. And I'm like, I don't even do Facebook ads. I just blog. Like, I do it through my blog and some free social media stuff. So I teach you how I do that. How to connect with your audience on a deeper level through the power of video. Stephen covered some of that today. I take it, you know, a little bit further, and as far as the stuff that I've done over the years, how to set up a blog broadcast to automatically stay in touch with your readers every time you post on your blog. Like I said before, this is one of the things that's really helped me be able to take a blog that has nothing to do with a business, CrossFit, and monetize it. Is this tip alone is what I'm going to teach you here. How to use stories in your marketing to connect with your audience and build trust. Again, Chris has a whole bonus module in there, and I also have a whole module, a whole video where I give you like examples of different stories that you can tell, and we dive deep into that because it's a huge piece of the equation. How to communicate effectively with your audience through email. We talked about that earlier. You know, you're going to be developing, generating, God, I can't even think of the word, leads from your blog with the strategies that I'm going to teach you. So I'm going to also show you how to effectively communicate with your audience through those emails. Module 4, convey, getting your content seen, how to use high-definition images to get traffic from Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. This is that I use as well to get free leads from my blog. How to use OnlyWire to syndicate your content on autopilot. How to create target audiences on Facebook to drive more traffic to your blog and to monetize by advertising to people who already know you. Simple on-page search engine optimization to get your blog posts ranked. Simple blog post syndication, do's and don'ts of syndicating on social media. As I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a bonus video in here as well that's going to be a live hangout that we're going to be doing with my assistant Andrea, where she's going to show you everything that she does to syndicate my posts. She's going to actually do a live demo, step-by-step, of what she does every time I publish on my blog, and that's going to be a huge bonus for you guys because, you know, like I said, you can use that to implement exactly what she does yourself, or you can literally take that video and hand it over to somebody and say, you know, you're going to outsource and you're going to pay them to do it, and just give them the video and have them do that for you every time you create a blog post. So that's a huge bonus. Module 5, cash in. Monetizing your blog, getting paid for your work, how to customize your banners to monetize your blog, how to bridge your passion into any income stream from your blog. So in other words, you can blog about, like I say here, this works in any niche for any income stream. How to build a team. If you have a network marketing company, blogging is a great way to create duplication. in your network marketing business. So I'll show you how to do that. How to add widgets to your sidebar and monetize your blog. This is one of the questions that I get messages about every day. You know, like I said, this whole course was designed from your feedback, from your questions. A lot of you know me and have been sending me messages asking me specific questions about blogging. And like I said, I was feeling overwhelmed and feeling like, you know, how can I support everybody? I don't have time to be answering these questions all the time or to be repeating myself. So I've basically taken your questions and put them all here inside of this training, plus everything else that I know that will help you have success. So adding, you know, the different widgets and all of that to monetize your blog is a question that I get a lot. So that's in there. How to create a low-cost product to position yourself as an expert in your niche and cover your advertising budget. You're also going to receive worksheets, templates, and checklists just to make it easier to integrate my teachings into your business and your blogging. And so you'll be able to take what you wrote on these worksheets and use it to create your blog topics, your headlines, your lead magnets, and your emails. So that'll be a huge time saver for you. And like I mentioned earlier, you get access to our Next Level Blogging Blueprint Facebook group, which is huge because it's, you know, it's where our, you know, it already exists because, like I said, we have a bunch of people that have been going through the course, and so that's where we're interacting on a daily basis. I'm answering questions. People are supporting each other, sharing, you know, different milestones as they hit them, and all of that good stuff. So that Facebook group it's invaluable. We use Facebook to chat, to post questions. You can create an accountability partner out of that group as well. Here's Chris's bonus that we talked about, the art of story selling through your blog. Chris is, I think I mentioned this, but I'll say it again. He's the founder of the Epic Story Academy and the creator of the Epic Story Funnel. He's a master when it comes to this stuff. So he's going to show you how to seed emotional elements in your blog post to engage your reader on a deeper level. The one big thing you need to mention about yourself and how to transition into selling with a story with zero resistance. Okay? There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You know, one of the things that I'm completely committed to is over-delivering. You can ask anybody that's going through my course. They've all basically told me that, you know, this course is worth way more than I'm charging for it, and I know that it is. I just want to get it into the hands of as many people as possible, and I'm also offering a money-back guarantee just to make it a complete no-brainer for you guys. Again, there's a pay in full and a to-pay option, and so that's what's inside the course. I'll bring myself back here, and then again, what I'm offering as a special bonus for the people that get in on this course. Now, this course is going to be available continuously, but it's not going to have the coaching program built into it like it does for those of you that take advantage of it during this promotion. There's going to be 5 weeks worth of coaching calls where we'll go through one module per week. You know, we'll go through the module each week together, and then have you'll do it on your own time that week, and then we'll come together so I can get your questions answered. So that's, you know, available during this promotion, and, you know, you never have to feel like you're out there on your own. And let's see, you're also going to get Dr. Steve's course, which is a lead generation course that he talked about earlier. That's a $97 value. Steven's Scripting for Marketing Videos That Convert with the Love System. It's a $147 value. And Chris's Storytelling Bonus Module, which is a $297 value. And his, what was it called, Chris?
Hidden Art of Story Selling.
And what's the value on that?
47.
And the Hidden Art of Story Selling, which is an additional $47 value. So that's all included. I'm also throwing in, for the first 12 people who get in, an event ticket to the Next Level Blogging Breakthrough event that's happening next spring. This is a $997 value. So basically, the whole cost of your course is covered by this free event ticket, and I'm going to give you a guest ticket for $197. So if you want to bring a spouse or a significant other, you will be able to do that as well. And all right, so real quick, I'm just going to make sure I have I have a couple other bonuses that I want to offer you guys. I forgot to even say, and I have a page I'll pull up real quick to show you as well, but I have a couple other bonuses which are, like I said, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I know a lot of people couldn't be here today, so I didn't want to make all of the bonuses available just for the people that are live today, because I know that some people have other things happening. I want to do a shout out, happy anniversary for Linda Hobson, because Linda sent me an email saying that she really wanted to be here today but couldn't because it's her anniversary. So happy anniversary, Linda. And I know, just being a holiday weekend, people have stuff going on. So I wanted to make these bonuses that we've talked about available. I'm going to make them all available until Tuesday at midnight to honor the people that couldn't be here. But I also, the event ticket is to honor the fast action takers. You guys get first dibs at those. It's for the first 12. And then I also wanted to offer some bonuses that are for today only, for those of you that did take time out of your Memorial Day weekend to show up today. So, so I have a couple other bonuses that I'm throwing in that are for till today at midnight. Okay, and the first one is, this is really cool. So something that I've been working on that I'm really excited about is a continuity program that I'm also going to be offering, which is going to be kind of an immersion program for bloggers, and it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about this. There's going to be some other awesome experts that are going to be providing value inside of this continuity program, and that's going to be starting in a month, give or take. And for anybody that purchases the Next Level Blogging Blueprint today, I'm going to give you a whole year of the continuity program at no cost. So the cost of the continuity program is going to be somewhere between $29 and $49 per month. We haven't completely figured out the pricing on that yet. So, it's a minimum of a $350 value, and I'm going to throw that in for you guys. So anybody that purchases today, plus all of my pre-launch people that have already purchased, you're all getting 1 year of the continuity program for free. So that's available till today at midnight, okay? And then the other bonus that I just decided this morning to throw in, because I think it'll really make a difference for you, is this audio that I'm almost finished with. It's a meditation audio to help you really get in touch with your purpose. So you can listen to it in the morning when you wake up and in the evening before you go to bed. And it's really, as a heart-centered entrepreneur, to remind you why you're doing what you're doing. Because, sometimes I know this has been the case for me, there's no guarantee of anything when you're an entrepreneur, and when you're trying to serve people and provide a difference for people in the world, it's some days, that it's working, that you're making a difference for people, and other days it's hard to know whether or not you are. And this audio is really designed to help you stay in touch with your purpose, and so I'm going to throw that in as well. So real quick, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up this bonuses page real quick so that you guys can see this, and then I have a couple other people that are going to jump on real quick just to just so that you can hear from them. So here's the bonuses page. So again, today only until midnight tonight, you get 12 months of my continuity program free, which is a $348 minimum value, because it actually might be more for that, but that's today only. Also today only, the Tapping Into Your Purpose meditation audio that I've created, $97 value, today only. First 12 people only, you get a free ticket to the Next Level Blogging Breakthrough event, plus a guest pass for $197. And so that's a $997 value for the ticket itself, and then, the guest pass as well. I won't be offering those otherwise. Again, you're going to get 5 weeks of live Q&A sessions. Here's the schedule for those. And again, those are all going to be recorded, so if you can't be there, you can still submit your question, and everything will get answered, and the replays will be available for you in the back office. Here's Chris's bonus that we talked about, $297 value. That you get when you buy the course, no matter what, it's part of the course. And then we have our 2 live stream bonuses that are only available for until Tuesday at midnight. So for the people that were here today, and for all of you that are, busy today, that are watching this replay right now, and it's before Tuesday night at midnight, you're going to get these 2 live stream bonuses as well. Scripting for Marketing Videos That Convert, The Love System by Steven Siemens. And some of you I saw in the chat were asking Steven's name, Siemens, S-I-E-M-E-N-S. And then Dr. Steve's The Ultimate Guide to List Building for Bloggers, $97 value. Okay, so those are the bonuses. All right. All right. So, and really, I just want you to think of it this way, like, how much money, energy, vitality, and opportunity do you lose weekly by not having a blog and a brand you love and one that produces results for you? What's the cost? And how much time are you taking away from your family with no payoff, financially or emotionally, trying to figure this out on your own? What would it feel like to tap into your true inspiration? And instead of spinning your wheels, blogging about things that don't excite you and light you up, you could be, really living into your purpose. So I want to make this as much of a no-brainer for you as possible. I've done everything I can to do that, to help you move forward. No matter what, I love you and I honor your path. And in a second, I'm going to bring out a couple more testimonials. But before I do that, I just want to answer a few of the questions that people ask, so that in case one of these is your question, it's answered right now. And then if there are further questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes to answer those when we're done here. So the first question is, but Amy, what if the timing's not good? I'm too busy. So great news. Like I said, all of the classes are, they're in video format, and the Q&As are recorded. So you can catch up at your convenience, and you can submit your questions online, so if you miss a call, you can still get them answered, okay? But Amy, what if I don't trust myself to do the work? This is the big one. I mean, how many people invest in courses that they never use? They never apply, they never implement anything from these courses, and it turns out to be a waste of time. So if you can't trust yourself enough to go through 1 module per week, where I show you exactly what I do, and then, or what to do, and then jump on a call with me to get your questions answered, then it's probably not best that you do this program. I mean, I don't want you to waste your money. But if you're ready to have a breakthrough with your blog, and this is calling you, then I welcome you with open arms and would love to walk down this path with you. And the last question, but Amy, what if I'm not sure it will work for me? So I'm literally laying everything out on the table. Again, I'm giving you step by step, over the shoulder, showing you everything that I've done. I don't know what else I can possibly do. I mean, I'm leaving no stone unturned. I've poured my heart and soul into this training to make sure that I'm giving you everything I have and everything that has worked for me. So you can talk to my other students that are going through the course. Like I said, I'm committed to over-delivering, which I feel I've done here. And I honestly believe that if it can work for a single mom that's as busy as I am, and I didn't have any help. That's the thing. Like it took me 8 years to figure this stuff out. If I can do it, you can do it with some help. So that's why I've set up the structure this way, to make it as easy as possible to implement as you go. Make sure we get your questions answered so that nothing stands in your way. Okay? So before I wrap up, I just want to bring out, I have a couple of other quick testimonials. I'm going to bring, Sue, are you here? Do you want to jump out real quick?
Sure, Amy. Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome. I've gone through Amy's course, and prior to this, I had no idea what blogging was, even how to blog. And everybody said, oh, well, you can do this, just blog. I had to Google on the internet to even find out what a blog was. No clue. I can tell you after going through Amy's course that it is over the shoulder. She does excellent videos inside that actually show you step by step. And when she says one module, the modules are actually broken up into mini sub-modules internally. And it takes one topic and discusses it. So if you want to jump from one topic to the other or go and say, how do I capture, create a capture page, or how do I post, take my blog and post it out to social media. She goes through all of the steps that she does, and I found it extremely informative, and it's definitely benefited me. So I'm a lot more informed, and anybody can really do it with the step-by-steps that she's provided.
Oh, thanks so much, Sue. I'm like a proud mama.
You're welcome.
And I love, like, when I get the messages from you guys, I'm always like, oh, I love it. Because it's, just like I talked about earlier, sometimes we take for granted what we know. We think it's like everybody already knows this stuff. So that's why I've tried to simplify it as much as possible so that, somebody that doesn't even know what a blog is can come in and go through this and be able to just follow along. So it's from soup to nuts, and so I'm glad it's making a difference for you. So
it really is, and it's excellent. You're very welcome. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for jumping out. Thank you for trusting me and throwing your hat over the fence to go down this path with us.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Great. It's been awesome. Thanks.
Awesome. Trish, do you want to jump out?
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep, there you are.
Hi there.
Hi.
I wanted to thank you for all of the bonuses that you just introduced there. It's phenomenal. I mean, I've gone through the course, I've learned so much, and then you just brought out all these bonuses, and I'm blown away. So thank you so much. And she does over-deliver, and she does answer all my questions, and I ask a lot of them. I'm very new to blogging. I love to write. I always have. And then I learned about blogging, and they said, well, you can make money blogging. And then I would sit down and I would try to write a blog to convince people to buy something. And the blog was exactly 0 words long. Because I can't do that. I don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable. Who would want to do that? So I kept trying to blog, and I kept failing. And then I got on your course, and you, the first day, said, be yourself. And you don't have to be an expert. So in my professional life, I've had many professional lives, I had to be an expert. And you're saying, just be yourself, be authentic, write what you love about, what are you passionate about. And all of a sudden, it's like I could write again. And I have to tell you, you've taught me all this technical stuff, and I'm learning and learning and learning. But the gift you gave me was that I could just be myself, put myself out there, and it's going to be okay. And I thank you for that gift. It's huge. So thank you very much, Amy.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for jumping out. Thank you for being such an amazing student. Trish says she asks a lot of questions. Well, the reason she asks a lot of questions is because I know she's actually going through the modules. She asks like intelligent questions based on the stuff that I'm teaching. So she's one of my best students. That's
thank you.
I love to have are people that actually, really dive into it and do the work. So thank you for being one of my best students, Trish, and
thank you for being my favorite teacher.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Aww. And again, thank you for jumping out. I know that we've been getting a lot of rain here in Colorado, more than usual, way more than usual. And Trish is like dealing with some stuff at her house right now.
I'm waterlogged.
Yeah, leaky roofs and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you still, volunteering to jump out here today and share.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Amy. And everybody have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, please.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So, I'm just going to leave you with, three reasons entrepreneurs don't succeed. Do you guys know what they are? Number 1, they don't get started. Number 2, they get started but they don't keep going. And number 3, they don't arrange close enough proximity to mentorship. So, like I said, I've had a ton of people asking me for mentorship, people asking me for coaching, people asking me for help. And so I've tried to, do my best to put that, to offer that to you guys through virtual training plus group coaching, and to put you inside of a community that you'll have forever to be able to move forward and get what you need on a daily basis so that you're not that out there on your own trying to figure this out, okay? So, if you're committed to being confused and frustrated, this isn't for you. for some people that's the case. They like floundering around out there not knowing what steps to take. If that's you, then I can't help you. This course can't help you. But if you're willing to go with what you see for yourself, and you see something for yourself here, then this is fabulous for you, and you'll have the structure that will save you so much misdirection. And really, I just want to leave you with this. I'm committed that my life matters and that yours does too. And staying small doesn't honor the gifts that God gave us. So your work is important, your life is important, people need you. So make sure you get the support that you need, whether it's from me or somebody else. Stop wandering around aimlessly trying to figure this out on your own. Support is available. So make sure that you get the support that you need, whatever that is for you. It's important to say yes to yourself in life, and it's not about taking a chance. It's about giving yourself a chance, right? So stay close. I would love it if you would stay close. And again, we're right at the top of the hour here. I was committed to keeping this to 3 hours. I'm blown away that I've actually managed to do that. I told everybody that I was bringing out, I put together like a show flow for this, and I'm like, I don't know if this is accurate. I'm pretty proud of myself that I've been able to do that. While I was doing that, I realized that the 7 steps to turning your blog from a hobby to an income stream, I probably was not going to have time to do that, which I'm not. I actually have to go pick up my kids in a couple minutes. And again, wanted to keep this to 3 hours to honor your time as well. And so that is available on the page. I think it's on this side above the button. There's a link there, and you can click on that, and it's my gift. It's a PDF. Those 7 steps are in there, and there's more detail inside of the course, inside of the video modules as well. So, but those 7 steps are going to be pretty eye-opening for some of you. Again, I honor you for being here on a holiday weekend and taking time out of your schedule. If you're watching the replay, I honor you for watching the replay and for the fact that not everybody is available to show up here on a holiday weekend. And remember, hopefully it's clear. There's a couple bonuses that are expiring at midnight tonight to honor the people that showed up here live today. Everything else is available until Tuesday at midnight. And so if you're watching the replay, you have until Tuesday at midnight. And if you have any questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes to make sure that, Chris, if you can start looking through just real quick as I wrap this up just to see if there's any last questions. Okay, great. So guys, the webcast is coming to an end, and I hope you've enjoyed all the value that we've offered here today. One of the things that we wanted to do throughout the day was to just make sure that you had the opportunity to sign up for the Next Level Blogging Blueprint program. It's something, like I said, that was created out of a lot of requests from people that just wanted to see, inside of what I do on a daily basis. And so, so here it is for you. And again, I love you. I honor your path. Thanks for giving yourself the gift of this little bit of empowerment today on your Memorial Day weekend. And that's it, unless anybody else here on the panel has any last thoughts before we close it up. I guess not. Oh.
Just going to say thank you for everything, and those who have the opportunity, if you don't take advantage, you could definitely be missing out.
Thanks, Sue. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend. If a question comes up, go ahead and leave it in the chat even after we jump off, and I'll be checking the chat throughout the day just to see if there's any questions in there. So feel free to leave your questions. Thank you so much again for your time. I hope you've gotten a lot of value out of this webcast, and I look forward to this journey that we're about to embark on together. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Love you.